interceptions, including an 86.
One of the many goals for the Navy midshipmen at the beginning of the 2005 season was to get to a postseason bowl for a third time in a row. Well, they'll try to accomplish that goal today when they take on the winless Temple Owls. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Scott Zolak. A gorgeous day for college football here in Annapolis, Maryland. And the storyline for the midshipmen is a chance to get to a bowl. But for the Temple Owls, the storyline is this is the final game for head coach Bobby Wallace.
Exactly. On October 10th, he elected not to seek renewal on his contract. Now it's his last football game here for Temple, along with 28 seniors. If there's any other time in their career that you pony it up and you play it up and you suck it up for one guy, this is the day. But, Tom, they've played a grueling schedule. All 10 teams they faced are at least 500 right now.
A lot of uphill battles for the Temple Owls in the 4 years for the seniors. For Bobby Wallace, game 375 for his career. For the midshipmen, a lot of seniors playing today, but one guy who is going to be spotlighted will be an underclassman, Adam Ballard, the fullback who takes over for the injured Matt Hall.
How many times have we mentioned Matt Hall's name when we do Navy games, and how important is the fullback to this offense? But the best thing is he's 30 pounds heavier than Hall. He looks like Cal Eckel. Hopefully he will run like him.
One thing that Paul Johnson said is that he needs to run hard, be effective as the fullback. We've got the kickoff coming up next. First, let's go to New York for Game Tracker Live. CSTV Football Nation is brought to you by Xbox Live. It's good to play together. And by Budweiser Select. Finally, bold taste meets a clean finish. Expect everything. A-18s from Oceana, Virginia Beach, Virginia. The flyover to get set for today's ball game. It's the Temple Owls and the midshipmen of Navy. Now, Navy won the toss to begin the ball game. They've decided to defer, and that gives us an opportunity to introduce you to Brad Bolin, who is the 12th mid. It's a program which Paul Johnson began last year where he takes one member of one company here at the Naval Academy, not a football player, and puts him on the field for the final game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And Brad is a member of the 7th company. The second straight year a member of the 7th company has been the 12th mid. So we're underway, the final home game for the midshipmen seniors. And the return for the Temple Owls is taken to the outside by Garrett Schultz. A good return out toward the 32-yard line. So that's where Temple will begin its first possession of the afternoon. There's Mike McGann, the starting quarterback for the Temple Owls, the senior who gets the nod with 1,224 yards overall this year. But the one number that really stands out, Scott, 2 touchdowns and 13 INTs.
Exactly, Tom. You want that flipped. You want 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. Matt Leinart type numbers.
McGann, 6'6", 225 pounds. On first down, he'll hand things off to Umar Ferguson, who's battling a sprained ankle, but looks good there as he gains yards up to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 8. It'll be second down and 2. It's time now for the Budweiser Select starting lineups. We'll begin with the Temple offense. They've been banged up. This offensive line needs to protect McGann. They've given up 25 sacks so far here in 2005. Bell is the big guy on the right side of the line. Meanwhile, in the backfield, Ferguson, as we said, has been battling a sprained ankle. He gets the start. The kid from Silver Springs, Maryland. On second down, McGann looks at a 4-man front set up by Navy. And the handoff again to Ferguson. And he's got the first down up to the 44-yard line before David Mahoney, number 40, is in there to make the tackle. And speaking of Mahoney, he's part of a Navy defense. Here's the lineup brought to you by Budweiser Select. Part of a Navy defense that's gotten better as the years got on. That's the defensive line. Chase, the senior, leads the way. Caldwell, of course, has been the stopper at the linebacker spot, but all 4 have been good. And the secondary will be pressured today because McGann can throw when he's effective. On first down, Navy showing blitz. Mahoney from the near side. The pass is complete to the outside. And it's a fumble, but it looks like Temple may have fallen back on top of it. The pass was caught by Bruce Gordon, number 80, the junior from Naples, Florida. And the football was fallen on by Stan Primus, the senior offensive guard from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, you can almost get a hold right there on Keenan Little. You saw on the outside, number 4, the corner, coming up to make the play. Temple gets away with the hold right there on the outside, but good job by the big guys following up the blocks and getting on the ball.
Well, there's Gordon, number 80, who made that reception. Primus was the guy who recovered the fumble. Jason Montz caused that fumble on the outside for the midshipman. It is a first down, though, for the Temple Owls. Again, Navy showing blitz, this time from the middle. Caldwell tried to sneak up, and Ferguson will gain a couple down to the 44-yard line before he is wrapped up and taken down. Andrew Tattersall, number 96, made the tackle. Ferguson, the senior from Silver Springs, Maryland, and Einstein High School, has rushed for 585 yards this year. As we said, he's been battling a high ankle sprain during the course of the last couple of weeks. Looks like he's running pretty good so far in this ball game.
You see what they're trying to do. You come out on first down, you run the football, hit him with a little play action, maybe right here on second.
On second down, there's the play fake. McGann will roll to the outside under pressure. He throws. Oh, that's a good catch on the outside by Bruce Gordon, number 80. And he has another first down at the Navy 30-yard line.
You know, we were watching McGann warm up, and he seems real robotic. He does a nice job here with the play fake to the strong side. Watch him get his shoulders back to the line of scrimmage, parallel, comes through the throw. That's a nice, accurate throw there, Tom.
Scotty, this is a kid who, as a freshman, looked like he had everything going for him. And his receivers have been hurt, but Gordon's been pretty consistent with 476 yards. He leads in every category with the exception of touchdowns. And Temple only has 11 touchdowns here in 2005. On first down from the Navy 30, McGann another play fake, looking to throw, fires to the outside. Again, it's complete to Gordon. It's a gain of about 11 down to the 19-yard line, and right now, Scotty, they're giving Gordon some pretty good room to make those catches.
Well, you talk about the cushion outside. Here's the play fake. You see McGann, he gets his shoulders back square. He almost has time to pat that football twice. That should not happen. Now, you watch the receiver right here. Watch it come up. He gets the corner to continue moving upfield. Right there, Keenan Little has got to read his hips. He's got to jump that faster. McGann, you can't give him time to sit there, pat the ball twice, and deliver it.
It is a productive drive right now for Temple. McGann, as the play clock winds under 10 seconds, calling out an audible. Yeah, it's a one-back set, 3 receivers. Quick drop, toss to the outside. It's complete again to Bruce Gordon.
It's exactly the same thing we talked about. He saw something on the outside. Keenan Little, 8 yards off the football. And the big thing is, Tom, they're here in the red zone. As a corner, you watch it right here. He continues back. He's almost eyeing the inside receiver, expecting them to maybe do a little switch route. It's too much of a cushion on the outside.
And Scotty, we talked about the success for Temple, or the lack of, 14 of 18 inside the red zone, but they only have 11 touchdowns overall and 10 inside the red zone. That's not a lot of numbers. On second down, the handoff goes to the fullback, who maybe gets one down to the 13-yard line. A little misdirection by the Temple Owls.
No, but we do want to reiterate that that's 11 touchdowns on the year. And, you know, you watch college football around the country, sometimes USC, other teams get 11 in one game.
Yeah, 11 touchdowns.
That is a long, not a long drought, but that's a frustrating year offensively.
Well, 11 touchdowns for the Owls, 56 touchdowns for the opposition. This is a good drive, though. It's nearly 4 minutes in length. This is play number 8 of this drive. It's a big one. Third down at about 4.5. And the handoff on the end around is snuffed out nicely by the midshipman. Keetrick Buffin, number 11, stepped up, and he finished off the tackle. And I'm not sure if that's the best spot to get Brian Allbrooks into this offense.
Sometimes that's why you're 0-10. You ask why you're down here in the red zone on the 3rd and 5. You know, nice job on the play fake, but great job by Navy playing smart defense, having guys where they're supposed to be, reading their keys, staying at home, preventing a trick play from, you know, dinking you down here.
Well, this will be a 41-yard field goal attempt for the Owls. Ryan Lutz, who is 4 of 6 on field goals this year. It's a good snap. It's a good hold. A sidewinder that is no good. So Navy holds defensively. They will get the ball back or get it for the first time. Game is scoreless when we come back. Hall is normally the starter at fullback, but because of a knee injury, he's out for the rest of the year. That's where Ballard will play. And of course, Tomlinson, the one big receiver that Navy does have. Whitaker with good speed takes the pitch, and it's read beautifully on the outside by Justin Johnson, number 4. And that's just being in the right place at the right time.
Talking about not only coming up and stopping the ball carrier, he goes through the block. I mean, he ate up the blocker, came through it, and hit the ball carrier.
And Scotty, he's part of a Temple defense. We'll take a look at their starting lineup, brought to you by Budweiser Select. That's given up on an average 24 first downs per game. The 2 linebackers are very active. Tapia. Schultz is the key, though. The free safety is the key, according to Bobby Wallace, against the midshipmen. Hand off to Ballard. His first burst of the day. He's inside Temple territory, and he's inside the 25-yard line. Paul Johnson said that he rides Adam Ballard and rides him every day because he has the ability to be a very good college football player, and he shows why.
Well, it doesn't help when it doesn't hurt when you have a hole as big as that you can drive a truck through. I mean, he's not even touched until he's 32 yards downfield, but that's the potential that they see, and why not go off something he had in the past? We talked about it in the open. Kyle Eckel, the fantastic back they've had here for years, he reminds him of him.
There's Hall on the sidelines. He will have surgery on that injured knee. Lamar Owens, good speed across the 10 down to the 7-yard line. And right now, Scott, Navy is running this option and running it well against a Temple defense that is trying to feel their way against this option.
Exactly, and you take a look at it here. It's something we haven't touched on yet. Almost like having a new center in there as a quarterback. That exchange is so important. That fullback in this offense, because you have to trust him. You have to trust Owens when he's going to pull the ball out. When do I, wrap that arm over the top and eat it up? And it goes hand in hand.
32 scores for Navy inside the red zone, 26 touchdowns. Owens was trying to make it 27, but he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage by Garrett Schultz, number 9, the junior from Linden, Kansas. One of a whole host of players, Scott, who came from junior college last year to help Bobby Wallace's football program.
Well, that's the thing. You need a little bit of experience. And Antoine Burton on the backside, the big defensive tackle, number 99, did a good job chasing that down from the backside.
So 2nd down and goal from inside the 7-yard line. 2 receivers for the midshipmen to the outside. And the pitch comes to Ballard on the near side, and it's read again nicely by Schultz. Maybe a gain of 1, so it'll be 3rd down and 5 for the midshipmen.
Tom, you mentioned Schultz and how much of a key he's going to be in this game today. He's not naturally playing the free safety position. You see Owens come down right there. The end comes and crashes down. He's forced to pitch it. Schultz, he's up in the box. They, in essence, have almost 2 strong safeties playing here in the secondary instead of having 1 free.
Well, I asked Bobby Wallace this week at Media Day in Philadelphia. I said, who's the key defensively? So, well, Garrett Schultz has to have at least 16 tackles in this ball game.
He's 4 yards off the ball right now.
It's 3rd and goal from just outside the 5, and Owens needs a timeout. 7:55 left to play in this first quarter. Navy is knocking on the door. It's decision time for Lamar Owens when we get back.
It seems like everyone's rushing to get things done faster. But sometimes the best solution is to slow things down. Budweiser Select starts with the finest American and Bavarian hops. Then we brew it longer.
Has garnered over his 4 years here at the Naval Academy. Bobby Wallace, the head coach at Temple, was praising Paul Johnson in his option and how he runs it. He said there's probably no one that coaches it better in the country. We'll see if the option produces a touchdown on 3rd and goal from the 5 after the timeout by the midshipmen. And the handoff is fake to Ballard, although I'm not sure if they wanted to fake it. I believe Temple has come out of the pile. Antoine Burton just ripped it out of the hands of Lamar Owens, and he takes it the 20 yards to the 25.
Tom, that's exactly what I was talking about right before that last timeout. It's a trust the quarterback has to have with the fullback. You got a new fullback in there. He's been faking and giving the ball to Matt Hall. All these past games, you see it right here. Should I keep it? No, he wanted to keep it right there. And you see Ballard, he doesn't know whether to crunch down on it or take it up the middle. But what a great play by the Temple defensive front. Reading the option, stuffing it, and forcing Lamar trying to keep it.
Yeah, Burton's
He's trying to yank it out.
Yep, his left arm, Scott, just went right on top of the football and just pulled it right out. 2 weeks ago, he had his first career interception. Now he's got the forced fumble and the fumble recovery all in the same play. McGann with his second drive of the afternoon. No score with 7:44 and counting left to play in the first quarter. Ferguson is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage and knocked back. A whole host of defenders were there. Jeremy McGowan, the junior, number 8, was there. Andrew Tattersall, number 96, was there as well. It'll be second down, and there's Jake Biles, the senior from Lorena, Texas.
Navy 18 seniors here on the day, and overall their record 25-21.
It's very impressive what they've accomplished, trying to get to a bowl for a record 3rd consecutive year. Biles, who like a lot of the seniors received their assignments over the last week or so for where they're going to go after their academy days are over, he is going to be in the Marine Corps. On second down, the pass is complete to Jamel Harris, the junior, and he's got a first down as he runs up across the 40-yard line to the 41. Hey fans, CSTV would like to extend a very special welcome to service women and servicemen around the world watching today's game on the American Forces Network. We appreciate all that you are doing to defend our great country. And for the graduates of the Naval Academy, guys like Lamar Owens, who will graduate in the spring, guys like Jake Biles, who we talked about, that's going to be their way of watching Navy football in the years to come. It's a first down for McGann from the 41-yard line. 3rd play of this drive, and a pass to the near side. It is complete. But the coverage was there after the reception by Bryant Allbrooks. Keetrick Buffin, who over the last couple of weeks has really played well.
He really has 2 huge plays so far early in this game, but defensively on both sides for Navy and Temple. First drive of the game, nice stops down, not only in the red zone, but down in there tight. But this is a spot right here if you're Temple. Say you get a first down, you're at the plus, you're minus 44. This is where you take a chance and maybe you run a reverse, not down inside the red zone.
Well, McGann will start out of the shotgun with 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom on second down. Needs to get it across the 49 of Navy for a first down. Slings it to the outside, nearly intercepted, but Allbrooks with good concentration takes the tip from Buffin and has the first down.
They could have had 2 big plays back-to-back. Buffin, what the spread formation does, it forces Navy to be a little more looser on the defensive front. Thus, he was licking his chops. That's what McGann was doing. He saw Little on the outside give another 12-yard cushion, and immediately he was trying to throw to that side. He forced that one.
Nice job by Allbrooks staying with the 2, Scott. He's a guy that's been banged up.
Good concentration.
Yep. Buffin was there, and there you see him in coverage once again. And he will once again be covering Allbrooks, although now he's trying to sneak in and maybe blitz against McGann. On first down inside Navy territory. Swing pass to the near side for Allbrooks. And although the reception was made, again, the defense was there. This time DeJuan Price, the junior from Austin, Texas, made his 53rd tackle of the season, stopping him for a short gain.
Oh, you take a look at DeJuan Price. He's in the middle of the field. Little quick play fake. He comes up. You talk about being on an island right here. Great open field tackle. One guy you got to shake right there, and he's got a chance to spring that for about 15.
Now, we've seen over the last several weeks guys just circulating through the secondary, playing a lot like Price. The starter free safety with 5 career INTs on second down and long. McGann from the shotgun. Pocket is collapsing. Throws with a hand on his back. And it's incomplete. Jeremy Chase was there with the pressure, and he forces a 3rd down.
And then, of all the Navy games we've done, Tom, rarely do you see him like to attack teams in blitz. Right there, they're only rushing 3 defenders up front. There's no reason you should get pressure right here. What they do is they loop the nose tackle all the way around the outside. He's the guy that brings the pressure. You saw Chase come up loops outside around the outside tackle. Nice job of him getting there. It took him a long time to get there, but he got there.
Jeremy Chase, the senior from Norfolk, Virginia. His family has the Navy atmosphere in its blood growing up in Norfolk. His assignment is also Marine Corps grounds. Once he graduates, McGann on 3rd down will throw to the outside. Ferguson heard footsteps and couldn't hang on. So it'll be a 4th down now for Temple.
That's the only place he had to go with the football. Navy dropping 8 underneath. He looks downfield. You see McGann looking. He goes to the check down. Even if he catches that's almost tackled for a loss there. They would have been facing him 4th and 11.
Ryan Lutz, who we saw before, who is the place kicker for the Temple Owls, also the punter. This is the 4th consecutive game that Lux has done both duties. Tomlinson was back deep to receive. He stands at his 10-yard line. He gets this one off. It's a heavy ball. It's going to linger around the 20. Tomlinson calls the fair catch. And that's where Navy will begin with a little more than 5 minutes left to play in this first quarter. Still no score, but the Navy offense getting an opportunity one more time on a gorgeous day for college football. To play in this first quarter, Temple's actually moved the ball pretty well in their 2 possessions. Navy now gets its 2nd possession, Scotty. They were effective. They just couldn't finish it off last time. Lamar Owens under center, man in motion. That's Campbell. Ballard takes the handoff. He's wrapped up by Burton after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Burton's a big force in this game so far. The big defensive tackle, number 99 for Temple. And before the game, Tom, we were talking, you know, what kind of reaction are they going to have here? Bobby Wallace's last game, 28 seniors. Navy had to get up early on, and they had to make something really bad happen to make Temple almost, you know, cash this one in, because it's very easy. 0-10, you can lay down for the rest of the game. But this team came to play today. You look at total yards right there.
It's even. Temple's thrown the ball effectively in their first 2 drives this afternoon, whereas Navy's run the ball effectively. Nelson in motion, the fake pitch to him. Owens to throw. Throw into the middle of the field, or to the outside, excuse me, and it's incomplete. Carlos Whitaker was the intended receiver. So 2 passes for Owens. Neither pass has been that great, and he also took a pretty good look here.
Oh, and here comes Big Burton again, number 99. You talk about being involved in the game. I guarantee you next time there's a play fake, Owens is going to be looking to see where he is. I'd love to have that one back, because on the backside, he had a one-on-one ISO. I'm telling you, the guy was wide open. You talked about Schultz. They've taken Schultz, in essence, out of the deep center field spot. He's up trying to get involved in the run game. The home run ball is there for Navy if they want it.
On 3rd down, Navy so far 0 for 1 on 3rd downs today. Owens with the option, pitches it late to Ballard. Ballard, nice hurdle over the 25-yard line. He's still going to come up a few yards shy of the 1st down, though. So it'll be 4th down for the midshipman. Ballard running hard to the outside. It was a late pitch, but he had enough athleticism to make that catch and then get those positive yards.
Yeah, Owens does that little delay step, because they try to get the fullback outside. So many times you see him carry the football over the center, or maybe the farthest he goes outside is over the guard. That's one way they try and get him on the perimeter.
Santa Cruz is back deep to receive inside the 30-yard line. He'll be spotted at the 27, and Shuey is going to fake this one, and he runs for a 1st down. He took a heck of a hit, but he will take it as he gets the 1st down to the 35-yard line.
Temple gets caught sleeping on defense. Well, right there, that's you can't really have a punt on. You got to have punt protection, meaning, hey, it's 4th and short. You got to be looking for the fake here. You see, nice job right there. Just that one little block he gets to the inside. I think that may have been Tidwell, the linebacker.
Well, he did a nice job reading in front of him. It's the 2nd time this year that we've seen Navy fake a punt. Last time was against Maryland earlier in the year, and Ballard on the 1st run after the fake gets another 1st down to the 47-yard line.
You see the size difference right there, the size difference of Matt Hall. This guy's 30 pounds heavier. Not only does he run the ball, but he punishes you when he runs the football. 3 guys bounce off him. Nice run.
It's a great story this week in the Annapolis papers about Adam Ballard, where the papers talked to his mom, Casey, and she said ever since he was a kid, he was larger than most kids, and she always had to convince everybody that he was his actual age. He was so big. Hey fans, tomorrow NCAA college volleyball on CSTV. AVCA Match of the Week brings you 3, that's right folks, 3 championship matches. Tomorrow beginning at noon with the Big East Championship from the University of Louisville. At 5, Conference USA takes center stage, and at 8, it's the Patriot League's turn. 3 matches, 3 bids to the NCAA on the line. NCAA volleyball on CSTV. Ballard gets a 1st down, although there's a flag that came flying in from the backside. It's a gain of 5, but we'll hold up here and see who the penalty's against.
Might have been the play clock.
Raymond Vaughn is the referee for today's ball game. It's the first penalty today, and both teams are very good when it comes to penalties. They're not often penalized.
I think Navy ranks 3rd in the nation, Temple 9th in that category as far as being penalized against. Means they're well coached.
Officials are talking right now about the penalty, which will move the midshipman back. Let's hear from Vaughn.
Illegal block below the waist, number 60, the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
So Zach Gallion is called for the illegal block.
I was trying to figure out what that was. He kind of went cut down at the hips.
Well,
you and I are looking at each other.
I thought it was a new style for offside.
Usually he bends over and he chops down at the knees. That's illegal block.
Let's see if we can see it here, Scotty.
Well, that's the thing right there. And the decision is that cut blocks are legal. That's one thing. There's a difference between a cut block and a chop block. Chop block is when one guy engages the player and the next guy comes in and chops the legs out. That was close. I don't know, Tom.
Owens keeps it on second down, and he loses a couple of yards as Temple's defense has stepped up the tempo a little bit to try to keep pushing Navy back.
See, the one player didn't stay engaged. He continued upfield and tried to go up for the linebacker.
Bobby Fulmore, who's the owl, plays the owl position for the Temple Owls.
That's a tough thing to do right there. You have the quarterback coming to the outside, and you also got to deal with the pitch man. He kind of settled in the middle. Nice job.
Chiquito had 9 interceptions in 2 years of junior college football. See the third down conversion numbers. Owens under pressure, throws off his back leg. A heck of a grab by Whitaker. And now he's going to try to run for a first down. It'll be about a yard shy of that marker. But they may go for it in this spot.
Yeah, that wasn't a screen pass. There was such a good rush. I thought they were trying to set up a screen. But you take a look at big number 99, Burton again, bringing the pressure from the right side of the screen. Good job by Owens. And we've seen Owens in person, Tom. He's not the tallest guy. For him to be able to get even a look there and hang in there to that last possible second and deliver it, takes some guts.
Owens is over 1,000 yards passing the football now with that completion. It's taken a couple weeks to get to that 1,000-yard mark. And Ballard on fourth down looks like he may have the first down.
It does with the spot.
And run for Adam Ballard, Scott. It's his 7th run so far, and he does get the first down. And he now has 76 yards on the afternoon.
He played well last week against Notre Dame. He averaged 5 yards a carry. He had 45 on the day. He had a 9-yard touchdown run.
On first down from the 42-yard line for the midshipmen. Owens again looking to throw. Pass to the outside. It is complete. And he's about a yard shy of the first down. Now, last time Navy had the football, they were moving inside the red zone, knocking on the door, trying to get in. This is what happened as our Xbox Live Big Play Replay takes place. And Antoine Burton, the big defensive lineman, just took the football away from Ballard and Owens. And he turned it over and gave Temple at least some life on offense and defense.
Yeah, and then they moved it out, and then now all of a sudden it becomes a field position game.
Second down, Owens has the first down as he scampers across the 30-yard line to the 29-yard line. Lamar Owens, we mentioned before, is over 1,000 yards now passing for his career, and he's a guy who runs very well.
Yeah, take a look at Justin Johnson coming up and making that stick right there. It's about the 3rd one he's had like that so far in his football game. But you talk about intensity, and so far, Tom, Temple's brought it today.
Yep. Justin Johnson, 35 tackles coming in, 9th on the Temple roster. Clock winding down here in the first quarter. No score in the ball game. Ballard takes the handoff over the block of his left guard, gets a couple down to the 26-yard line. And that will be the final play of this first quarter. And Adam Ballard has had a very good first quarter, 8 carries now. He is zeroing in on 80 yards. Will he get over the 80-yard mark? Well, we'll get a chance to see it when we come back as the second quarter will be underway. His offensive numbers are starting to pile up. They have 140 yards of total offense. They've been able to move the football, but a turnover deep in Temple's end on their last drive stopped them from getting into the end zone. Let's see what they do here on second down and 6. They need to get across the 19-yard line. And Ballard will get maybe half of the yardage down close to the 21. And Ballard now over 80 yards for the afternoon, and Scott, they're going to him an awful lot, and you can see he has over 80 of the 115 Navy's picked up in the first half.
Exactly, and you look at Owens now, the quarterback. He's very deliberate. He's not lingering around the fake. He's either giving it to him or he's moving on down the line.
It's third down, and Owens will keep this one and then pitch it to Marco Nelson. A great burst to the 5, into the end zone. Well, you want to epitomize a guy that has put together a solid year because he has worked his tail off in his 4 seasons at the Naval Academy. Marco Nelson is that guy. I mean, he has run hard and has run effective this entire year. And for Nelson, that is his 4th rushing touchdown, his 6th overall. And Bolin continues to be perfect with the point after. And it's 7-0. Navy is on top. They now have 165 yards of total offense, and they can breathe a sigh of relief because they got it to the end zone.
She's absolutely perfect.
And the best part, in each hand, she has a cold Bud Light. Good day, gentlemen.
What a waste of 2 Bud Lights. Bud Light. Great taste, great times.
The Venus de Milo!
Nothing outperforms Gillette M3 Power Nitro. Push the button and feel the boost in performance. Gillette's battery-powered motor sends micropulses to the patented Power Glide blades. Get unsurpassed comfort and the world's best shave. M3 Power blows away the competition. You'll be blown away or Gillette will give you your money back, guaranteed. Try Gillette M3 Power, the world's best shave, or your money back.
Marco Nelson, along with the other 18 seniors that walked out onto the playing field at the start of this ball game, walked out proudly with his mom and his sister. The senior will walk away from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, Scotty, knowing that he scored a touchdown on his final day here in Annapolis.
Oh, and you think he runs the ball. He does a nice job catching it. 10 catches on the year, 2 touchdowns. He cut that screen pass 2 weeks ago, took it the distance. The guy can do it all.
22-yard touchdown run. We'll see if Temple can answer off the kickoff. It's a short kick, and it is returnable. Boy, Schultz had a good burst across the 20, and he's out toward midfield before he's finally taken down.
Eric Schultz takes the kickoff to the midfield line.
Well, it's time now for the Xbox Big Play replay. Oh, excuse me. We're going to go back to the touchdown, Scott, that Marco Nelson
the big
put
thing
together.
here. The big thing here is the tempo. You're going to see the fake real quick. Owens is going to come down the line of scrimmage. There he sees the defensive end. He doesn't waste any time. He gets the ball to Nelson, and what that does, it allows Nelson to get some steam going because he's running downhill. You're going to see him run downhill right here. Snags the ball, boom, right there. Defender has no chance. Watch the effort right here at the end to get in the end zone.
Yeah, the momentum sort of carried the defender right across the goal line. On first down, McGann hands it off to Ferguson. He runs hard for a couple to the 48-yard line. Umar Ferguson, as we said, was battling a high ankle sprain coming into this ball game. That's his 6th carry. He ran well on the opening series for Temple. 585 yards. It does lead the Temple Owls. It's amazing to look at the touchdown numbers, though. I mean, he has 5, and that leads the squad. And as we mentioned, they only have put together 11 touchdowns.
That's amazing.
This entire year. Temple, which will become a full-blown member of the MAC Conference in 2007. Played 4 games this year against MAC opponents, 6 next year. And then a full-blown member in 07. Ferguson has the first down off of the screen. And he gets to the 35-yard line, maybe the 34.
Coverage by number
Temple really mixing things up. They come at you first down. They dose you with the run after the great return by Schultz. And you mentioned Schultz, Tom. He shook about 5 guys on that return.
Yep.
Great job making him turn his hips. A little head fake here and there. But very good timing on that last screen pass. They had 3 linemen out. Boom, boom, boom. Got their blocks down. And they need points here. They need points here for them to remain in this football game.
Ferguson, total yardage this year over 700 for the Owls. McGann off the play fake. His pass is complete to Gordon. Now they'll rely on his athleticism. And that athleticism will give him a first down to the 22-yard line. I have to admit, I've been impressed with the way Gordon has caught and run the football today.
They're picking and choosing which side they're wanting to go. And what they're electing to do here is you're going to see the little play fake to the backside. What it does, it freezes the backer. It allows that tackle to come out right here and get on Keenan Little. Now, Keenan Little, again, 8 yards off the ball. No press coverage. Navy continues to keep their corners soft. It's interesting to see if they begin to press next series.
Well, they have a first down for the 22-yard line. Ferguson, the lone back in the backfield for the Owls. It's a 4-man defensive front for the midshipmen. A handoff to Ferguson. Nice sidestep to an opening to the right side. And he's inside the 10-yard line to the 7-yard line.
Oh, great vision right there. This run's designed to go to the left side. And credit Ferguson here for having the vision to look for that cutback. That cutback being the backside tackle. Did a nice job walling off. You're going to see him start here, and he's going to cut back right there. He sees that lane. Just poor pursuit by the Navy linebackers. Biles a little bit out of position. He was trying to key him going here. You see Biles looking right at him. Boom. And all of a sudden, Ferguson backside. He sees the gate.
Blocking on that right side by Stephen Bell, the guard, who went inside, and then Elliott Seifert, the right tackle, who went to the outside to open up that lane. Again, they try Ferguson. He gains a couple on 1st and goal to about the 4-yard line.
Temple's got to realize they don't want to be cute. They got burned last time they were down here with that reverse. It almost knocked him. Well, it did knock him out of field goal. I'd run the ball 4 times here. Run the ball 4 times. If you don't get it, 4th down, kick it. At least you're getting 3.
Well, they have been effective mixing up the short passes, but as you said, running the football too. Ferguson now 8 carries, 33 yards. And now it's a true I formation with Josh Bundy, the fullback, number 39, sliding into the formation. On 3rd and goal, the handoff to Ferguson. And he's going to come up about 1.5 yards shy of the goal line. So it's now 3rd down for the Temple Owls. 3rd and goal as the clock winds close to 11 minutes.
2 ways to look at it here. You're 0-10. What do you have to lose if you do go for it? Or you want to get the 3 points, get something on the board. Give your team something to chew on. It's a nice drive you got working. They're going for it.
On 3rd and goal from inside the 2. Bobby Wallace talked earlier this week at the media luncheon about the coaching staff, and his hope is that the coaching staff will get an opportunity to stay at Temple and move on to other jobs. And he would also like to see Mike McGann have some success, and he's had success so far. McGann calls the timeout. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2 for the Temple Owls. They're down 7-0, but they're knocking on the door.
Some beers have a full taste, but are too filling. Some beers are easy to drink, but don't satisfy. Then, there's Budweiser Select. Made from only the finest hand-picked American and Bavarian hops. Budweiser Select is brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Everybody has their something, but Budweiser Select has it all.
More college hockey than any other network. Go ahead, watch your face off. NCAA hockey every Friday on CSTV.
Stephanie Sims, you've just won the National College Field Hockey Championship. What are you doing next?
I'm going to my dorm to study for my calculus final.
7-0 Temple, but that shot that you see right there, that should tell part of the story as we come back off of a timeout. Temple is at the 2-yard line. It's 3rd down and goal from the 2. This drive, 6 plays, 49 yards, 3 minutes and 37 seconds. The coaching staff keeping a keen eye on what's going on now for the Temple Owls on their side of the field. 2 receivers, one to the left, one to the right. Backs in an I formation, the handoff to the fullback, and Josh Bundy is into the end zone. It's his 3rd touchdown of the year. And Scott, you said it. Just keep on running, and that's exactly what Temple did.
You just saw number 12. 12 touchdowns. You're just going to give it to the big fullback, and boy, it's not like Navy didn't have people there to stop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, led by Caldwell.
And now Lux is on for the point after to try to tie this ball game at 7 apiece. And his extra point is good. So Bundy picks up his 3rd touchdown of the year. It's the 9th rushing touchdown of the season for the Temple Owls, and they even things up at 7 apiece. Well, we've got a game here in Annapolis, and then the day continues. Football Nation will continue all day long as it'll be a battle for the Valley. Lehigh and Lafayette will battle up next on CSTV. Then at 8, Memphis looks to rebound from its tough loss to Tennessee as it takes on fellow Conference USA foe Southern Miss. And we wrap the day up at 12:30 when Montana will take on Montana State. CSTV Football Nation all day long on CSTV. We were in Montana last year.
Awesome. It's like we're on a movie set.
That was.
They know how to tailgate out there.
They
Tom.
sure do. It's some of the beautiful, some of the best scenery that you will find as a backdrop to a college football game.
Now, this is what we talked about. Navy had to do something early in this football game to get up, to force Temple into a position. Hey, we're going to lay down here. We're going to keep playing. They score the touchdown. Then boom, Schultz has the great return, sets up the nice drive. Now Paul Johnson's team's got a little problem on their hands. You're sitting 7-7. You know, you got 3 bowl representatives here: Liberty, the Houston Bowl, the Poinsettia Bowl, which is the San Diego Bowl. They need to have a good showing today.
Carlos Whitaker was back deep to receive, but one of the up men will take the football for the midshipmen across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the midshipmen as the ball will be spotted right at that 31, and we shall see how the midshipmen will respond to the touchdown for the Temple Owls. Bundy with that 2-yard touchdown run. Only took 3 minutes and 40 seconds, but again, that's because of the return by Schultz to midfield. Lamar Owens tightly under center, and the handoff is given to Ballard right into the gut. And he's close to a 1st down. I think he's got it with that dive forward. And those 10 yards for Adam Ballard now give him 92 so far in this 1st half.
Take a look at this guy. You watch Ryan Gore right here. He's going to step up, make first contact. You're going to see number 8 Dunbar get in, and he just carries people. 2 of their bigger hitters. And I know I keep saying it, the free safety. You get Schultz up in there nice and tight. The home run ball is there for Navy, but they're having such success running the football.
Scotty,
look
how
at
about
the
that?
average
Yeah.
per carry.
9.2 per carry for Adam Ballard. And it's another 1st down for the midshipmen. Their 9th of the day. Owens off the play fake, looking to throw to the near side. He underthrows Jason Tomlinson. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Lamar now 2 of 5 passing the football.
It just doesn't seem like he's in a groove yet. He's not comfortable. He's kind of been sporadic with all the throws today. He did a nice job picking up the blitz on the little fade. He's fading back in the pocket. He read that nicely. Other than that, he's had difficulty throwing the football today.
And Scotty, we just saw Paul Johnson. There have been times when Lamar Owens has not been in sync that he has brought Brian Hampton off the bench for a series. Yeah,
exactly.
Lamar Owens running the option. He has run well today, although the option was snuffed out very quickly by the Temple Owls.
That's a tough one right there. He's forced a little too far in the backfield, and then Whitaker was coming around, and he kind of got ahead of Owens. Here, take a look right here. Here's a little fake. He's going to come this way, but watch the tailback. He's parallel with them, thus he can't make the pitch. Made it an easy play for the defense. You didn't have to worry about the pitch man.
See Mike Mendenhall's numbers, Scott. He was part of that tackle. 13.5 tackles for a loss. That's another one there.
7 sacks.
Yep. This is the 8th consecutive game he has had a tackle for loss for Temple. On a quarterback draw into the option. Lamar Owens has the first down, and he wipes the slate clean.
That's what he did earlier in the football game. When he had the first incompletion and the one where he got drilled by Burton, next thing you know, boom. He has that ability to take it 12 yards. This is a called quarterback draw all the way. He's not reading anything, drops back 5 steps. Boom, as soon as that step hits, he's gone out the back gate.
And Owens now with that run, 8 carries, 45 yards. Owens, who will be a surface warfare officer when he graduates from the Naval Academy, which means he's going to drive one of those big ships, Scotty. He's driving the ship here as Owens steps inside across the 40 to the 38-yard line. The 18 seniors who will graduate from the Navy football team all received their graduate assignments, which means that they received what they are going to do when they graduate in the spring from the Naval Academy. We mentioned Lamar Owens, as we said before, will be a surface warfare officer. Guys like Marshall Green, the right tackle, he's actually going to go to dental school. Ballard bounces his way across the 35 and has another first down inside the 30.
Oh, the guy just keeps his legs churning, Tom. Earns every yard he gets. The nice thing is he has the speed, so when that hole's there, he can pop it. But when it's not there, this is what happens. You see him, he's looking inside, he's forced outside. He almost goes down right there. Just keeps the legs moving and he picks up what, easy 3 yards.
And another first down for the midshipman. 100 yards exactly for Adam Ballard. What a productive first half he's had, and he continues to add to that total.
There's another 6.
I thought it was interesting though this week when Paul Johnson talked about Adam Ballard. I mean, he said, listen, I ride him because he's got the ability, and I ride guys that have the ability and have not reached that ability just yet.
Exactly. And you get a big dog like that, you get him off the porch, you keep feeding him, and eventually he's going to be a bigger dog.
Not sure how much bigger you can get though. 6'1", 240 pounds.
It's the load.
It is second down now for the midshipman. Clock winds close to 7:40 to play. They continue to go to the well as Adam Ballard slices his way to the 20-yard line, a gain of 2 yards. Mike Mendenhall in on the tackle, number 45. Mendenhall from Gibbstown, New Jersey, and Paulsboro High School in South Jersey. I'll tell you what, not only a great football program in high school, but also a great wrestling program. And he's part of a defense that allows 184 yards per game on the ground, and they're at 183 so far today. And Ballard gains that additional yard to maybe put it at 184 down to the 19.
Looks like it's going to be about 4th and a long 1. Paul Johnson discussing it right now. Looks like he's going to go for it.
Well, Bullen can make a field goal at this distance, but when you're moving the football as well as Navy has been in this first half, I mean, they're averaging over 7 yards per play. Why not?
They haven't really stopped the option except for that first drive.
They're 2 for 2 on 4th downs today, including a fake punt. Here's the 3rd attempt. Campbell has the first down, and he's inside the 10 before Ryan Gore takes him down from behind.
That's all you do. Just give the ball to Mr. October. Navy loves to do this. They put the pitch man in motion from the backside. What it does, it gives him a head of steam. Student body right, just a little reverse pitch to the outside. Good job getting outside. Gets that one block. Gets horse collared. Makes it easy on Owens. He doesn't have to do any faking to the fullback or reading or pitching.
And it gives Navy a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. 6:32 left to play and counting. Owens will keep it and then pitch it to Whitaker. Nice sidestep. It's a couple of yards down inside the 2-yard line. Whitaker's got some tremendous athleticism, and we have seen it from the start of his freshman campaign through this. The final home game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. He is down right now on the field turf after gaining a couple of yards. Medical staff coming over to tend to him.
Set the freshman record for touchdowns, and this is a guy that averages over 8 yards a carry for a freshman. Sometimes I think he's a little too fast there, Tommy. He's almost too far ahead of Owens there. You talk about being parallel with the line of scrimmage. You see how short a pitch is. Right there you see the cut. You don't know if his foot got caught in the turf. Yeah, he kind of went down right there. So you just wonder, is it the knee or the ankle?
Well, he sits up right now, and Navy is already short because of the injury to Matt Hall. We've seen Matt Hall during the course of today's ball game on the sidelines on crutches. Matt injured on the first series against Notre Dame last week, and now Whitaker is being helped off the field. There's Hall.
We'll take another look right here. Watch right here around the line. You're going to see the left leg. He was already pulling up lame right there. Good news, he's walking off under his own power here.
He has become a big weapon. I asked Paul Johnson this week, I said, you know, so how do you tell when a freshman is ready to play? And he said, well, you know, I want to put the best guys out there. I mean, I'm not going to discriminate just because they're freshmen. I mean,
some coaches do.
Yeah,
sure.
he saw very early that this kid had great speed once he caught the football.
Watch his left leg. You see the plant right there. Either it's the knee or the ankle. And we're going to take a look and see which part of the body they'll be working on him on the sideline.
On second down, Owens will keep it himself into the checkerboard. That is the 7th touchdown of the season for Lamar Owens, and it gives the midshipmen a 13-7 lead with 6:01 left to play in this first half. And he has made some very good decisions in this first half running the football.
Running the football, that's right. He's got to get it cranked up in the passing game a little bit. And that little Reggie Campbell, number 7, don't be surprised if he has one big catch in the third quarter in the next half. They have a good knack of getting him down the seam and getting him the football.
And Bullen is on for the point after. How about 37 for 37 now in point afters for Joey Bullen? It's 14-7. Navy is on top. Why? Because of their senior quarterback taking it in.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
America's favorite home gym is more affordable than ever. Now you can get the all-new Bowflex Extreme for just $19 a month. Call the number on your screen for a free DVD or video and check it out. Bowflex's Power Rod technology delivers results. Powerful arms, defined legs, a stronger chest, and a toned, sexy core. And owning a Bowflex home gym is so affordable. Great results are easy with a new Extreme. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, to get in the best shape of your life. The Extreme is built so well that we back it with an unrivaled 7-year warranty. And so effective, it comes with Bowflex's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Through this special offer, you can own one with no money down and just $19 per month. You can't get this Bowflex deal anywhere else. Call us for a free DVD or video, or visit us online and find out how to get your Bowflex for just $19 a month today.
With the headsets on is Lamar Owens. He just scored the 2nd touchdown of the day for the midshipmen. And he's given Navy a 14-7 lead. There's the drive, and it was a long one. 12 plays and 69 yards. 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And right now, Navy, Scott, with 234 yards of total offense, over 200 yards on the ground.
That's amazing. They continue to roll it up. They come into the game 3rd in the country, averaging over 276 yards per game. And as of right now, they've got it going.
Bullen's kickoff is going to roll out of bounds. And we saw that earlier in the year an awful lot from Joey Bullen. Well, today, the big part of the offense for Navy has been Adam Bauer, over 100 yards already on the ground.
Yeah, he's got 111 yards on 14 carries, and he is the workhorse. Every yard this guy gets, he earns it. And the nice thing, Tom, he has the speed to crease it when there is a hole.
He's on for the injured Matt Hall, and Ballard has really paid dividends. 14 carries, 111, great average per carry, 7.9. Coaching staff talking to the offense over on the sidelines. Speaking of offense, Temple goes on offense, down 14-7. McGann hands it off to Ferguson on first down. Rob Caldwell, number 57, steps up into the slot and makes the tackle. Caldwell continues to put together a phenomenal year. He has over 110 tackles on the season. That's tops for the midshipman. Not only that, he averages 12.5 tackles per game, which is 8th nationally.
It's amazing. And if Temple's going to play like this for the rest of the game, it amazes me they're on 10 because they've been pretty good on first down. They're able to manage second down. They're able to put drives together.
Nice play fake by McGann. Throws on the run. And that pass is complete. What a great catch by Bruce Gordon. He extended all of his 5'11" frame to make that reception.
You know, these are two good throws, and I talk about McGann being on that bootleg. The nice fake he has on the backside, and you look at the extension here. Watch him get outside. He squares his shoulders. There's a delivery. He has to put a little bit of touch on it to clear the first defender. But look at the extension by Gordon. Not only does he get one, though, I think he taps the other one down,
You're right, yeah. Gordon now 6 catches for 66 yards. Ferguson again out of the I formation. Breaks one tackle, and he's got another first down out across the 40-yard line to about the 38. Well, Temple right now is doing a lot of things very effectively, including blocking very well, Scott.
Well, that's the thing, just getting a hat on a hat. And it seems like these backs, especially Ferguson, he doesn't need you to hold his guys for a good 2 count. Just give him a little crease. He has an ability to look for that back slash, that backyard run. You know, so many plays are designed, hey, I'm going to follow the fullback, whether it's there or not. You know, backs that aren't ready to get it to the next level will run into them instead of ones that look and try and have the good vision like he does.
Scott, Navy shows blitz. Mahoney coming crashing in, but the pass is complete to Gordon by McGann to the 26-yard line. He's actually throwing pretty effectively today.
He is. I mean, you have to wonder throughout the course of this week how much time he put into film preparation. How much extra did he go in? Because there is somewhat of a competition here. Are they going to play the freshman? Are they going to play the senior? Football team's 0-10. It's the last game. So I think he may have had a little bit extra for it this week.
McGann at 6'6". Bobby Wallace said the reason he is starting today is because of that preparation that you talked about. Bye week last week, he was in every day taking a look at the films. He and Bobby Wallace have grown very close during McGann's 5 years in the Temple program. Ferguson spins across the 25-yard line down to the 22. It's a gain of 3. Just talking to Bobby Wallace this week, Scott, it was interesting to hear his take on this being his final game, but also on some of the seniors like McGann. He says that sometimes when the fans in Philadelphia get on him.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough place to play.
Well, it is, and he realizes that it's very difficult to coach when that happens, but he also hears how they get on McGann, and he realizes that for a 21-year-old kid, it's even tougher. So he can take it. He said, if McGann can take it, I can take it. Out of the shotgun, McGann to throw. Pass is incomplete. We might have had a flag.
Well, the Navy sideline.
Bruce Gordon, yeah.
The Navy sideline is trying to say that Bruce Gordon tried to come back through the defender to prevent an interception from happening. What McGann was doing, he's throwing for a spot right here. You see him in the shotgun. He stares down the receiver, which is the bad part right here. Thus, he gets 3 defenders right over in that area. And he tries to back shoulder Gordon, meaning back shoulder, put it on his back shoulder. He didn't want to lead him in there to where all the blue jerseys are. Good job by Jeremy Chase getting back, forcing his hand up, making a high throw.
Well, it forces a 3rd down now. Temple out of the shotgun. McGann looking to throw to the middle of the field. Touchdown.
Nice job by McGann looking off to the left side. He looked the safety off, and it opened it up for Gordon.
Bruce Gordon, his first touchdown reception of the season. And it's game number 11. That is also the 13th completion for McGann.
Oh, you saw the little head fake just right there to the left side. That opened the middle, and a good delivery. I mean, he's very decisive with his throws. He's not thinking. He's not sitting there patting and waiting. You see how excited he is, and they got some life here.
It's only the third touchdown pass of the year for McGann, and now Lux with the point after. It is good, so we are all even.
Wow.
At 14 with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in this first half. McGann is now 13 of 16 for 143 yards.
That's efficiency.
Hey fans, tonight at 12 Eastern Time, get all the latest scores, news, highlights, and more on CSTV's Game Tracker Live, the most high-spirited and informative college sports roundup in the nation. There's a score you need, an amazing moment you missed, a story you want to hear, you'll find it on Game Tracker Live, your one-stop destination for all things college sports. That's tonight at midnight.
You're going to have to wonder how much time Paul Johnson's going to spend with his defense here at the half. I don't think you can really say much to the offense. I think they're moving the ball effectively. Talking about the Navy offense, chewing up tons of yardage on the ground.
And that was a quick 7-play drive also for Temple, 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
A lot of open holes. Nice catches by Gordon on that drive with one down the sideline. And of course, the post pattern for the touchdown.
The brigade of 4,000 still enjoying this afternoon of sunshine and cool temperatures here in the Annapolis area. Another short kick. Piconi will take it inside the 20-yard line. And Anthony gets toward the 30. Hard hit before he is taken down at the 31-yard line. That's his second return. We saw Joe Silk a couple weeks ago as one of the up men returning the football as they were trying to keep the ball away from Reggie Campbell, Carlos Whitaker, guys like that. Bundy, who scored a touchdown earlier, was in on that special teams tackle. As you see him going off the field, the fullback. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Annapolis, Maryland. Cool temperatures. It's a perfect college football day. And Lamar Owens will try to get the offense generated again on first down. He's going to pass on first down. He's under pressure. And he's got such quick feet. Boy, he's able to step out of the pocket and pick up what looks like a first down on a gain of 10.
Boy, he was had too. One point he's sitting in the pocket. He had 3 big defensive linemen closing down in on him. He gets it to the outside. There's a little cutback right there. He steps out of one tackle, picks up another first down. It's the third time we saw him do that today.
For Lamar Owens, that's 11 carries, 65 yards for a first down. Each team with 13 first downs in this half. The pitch comes to Nelson on the near side, and a good burst along the sidelines. A first down inside Temple territory. Tell you what, I like watching that kid run.
The Temple doesn't really have an answer for it yet. And you talk about Schultz, he's up in the box, he's 6 yards off the ball, but he's still stuck in the middle. If they're going to play him up that tight, they've got to commit him to one side or the other and put the strong safety down on the other, and somebody's got to take the pitch man.
Scott, that's now 238 yards of rushing offense in this first half for the midshipmen. Handoff goes to Ballard, and he has stood up immediately at the line of scrimmage. He may have even lost a yard. Tackle was made by number 92, Terrence Knighton, the freshman from Windsor, Connecticut. It's a big kid, 6'4", 315. That's good size.
I think he's a little more than 315, Tom. Those pants are stretching.
It'll be second down and 11 yards to go.
I've played with a couple guys that are 315. They look a lot lighter than he does.
So that's where you got your eating habits from.
Oh, come on.
Handoff is fake to Ballard. Again, Temple is able to read it.
There he is
Lamar
again.
Owens is dropped at the 45. Knighton again in on the tackle. He's having himself a heck of a series defensively.
You know, as efficient as they are running this option, you're going to have to wonder at some point in this game, Lamar Owens is going to have to hit a big pass play to get the team really over the top.
Navy has Cole Smith in as the center, the junior from Crockett, California. Instead of James Rossi, Owens to throw, and it's incomplete. He overthrows his intended receiver and took a hit by Antoine Burton as he threw that football. So it stops the clock with 1:50 to play in this first half.
That's about the 4th pressure from Antoine Burton off the backside. I guarantee you Owens didn't see him coming because he's a little fuzzy right now.
He'll trot off the field. Eric Chewy will trot onto the field. Shuey will stand at his 43-yard line. Nick Santa Cruz is back at his 10. Good kick by Shuey. Good hang time. Santa Cruz will let it bounce at about the 6. And Caldwell will pick it up on a scoop at the 7-yard line. So that is where Temple will get an opportunity with 1:43 left to play in this first half. Hey fans, don't forget Sunday at 12:30 Eastern is live coverage of the NCAA Division I Field Hockey Championships from the University of Louisville. Will Wake Forest win their 4th title in a row, or will someone slay the mighty champion? NCAA Division I Field Hockey Championship. The mighty champion has been slayed because it's going to be Maryland and Duke. It'll be 12:30 Eastern time tomorrow on CSTV. See, I answered my own question. Sometimes when I have conversations with myself, I can answer my own question.
That's why you always talk to yourself. I always ask that.
All right, 1:43 left to play in this first half. Can they get something done? McCann to throw on first down. It's incomplete. Demario Hamilton was his intended receiver on the outside.
And he checked to that. He saw something, and that's what I talked about earlier with the coverage that they're playing on the corners. They're soft enough that McGann's able to check to that quick out, the little 4-yard out. That was a good delivery, good throw right there. You just got to catch it. Now it's 2nd and 10. That's the last thing you want to have is unmanageable situations. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and you see Whitaker right here. And they are icing that knee down, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah, he is walking off toward the locker room as the first half winds down. 2nd down and 10. Handoff goes to Ferguson. Ferguson bounces away from David Mahoney, but can he get outside? He's trying to, and he gets out of bounds, and he stopped at about the 11-yard line. Well, if you are just tuning in, we now have the Xbox Live Big Play Replay. This is why we're tied at 14. McGann, 22 yards to Bruce Gordon.
Yeah, it's the 2nd touchdown of the day, and this is a team that scored only 11 all year. Here in the first half, they have 2. McGann, very effective throwing the football, 13 of 17 so far here in the first half.
And Bruce Gordon has been very effective on the receiving end.
You got to ask. I mean, Whitaker goes into the locker room. He's got the bum knee. It's iced down, and it's a long walk in. You think you'd hook him up and get him the cart?
Here's Ferguson on 3rd down. He may have been able to knife his way through for first down. He did to the 19-yard line. 1:26 left to play in this first half. The clock stops as they move the chains. Conservative right now for Temple. But that's because they're still inside.
That's
their
exactly
own
right. That's exactly right. You don't want to take any chances here. You don't want to give Navy a quick score right before the half. He played well in a tied ball game.
Out of the shotgun, McGann to throw. Pass is incomplete. Boy, he had a man open. Bruce Francis and threw behind him.
There it is.
Caldwell laid a hit. They're going to throw a flag.
That's a good call. He could see Caldwell's got to pull off there. You can see it's an incomplete pass. An awful throw by McGann. Throws it behind and hits him on the back shoulder. Right there, he's turning. Definitely good call.
That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be an automatic first down.
And Jeremy Chase right now doesn't like it, but once he sees the replay and film.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 57 on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Just like I said, you don't want to do anything silly in the offensive side of the ball. Navy here, right there. Now you give them a little more life, and they can open up the offense a little more. And they're having good efficiency, putting the ball downfield.
Caldwell will settle back into his linebacking spot. He'll line up on the left side of the defensive line on 1st down and 10. Out of the shotgun is McGann. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to try to run the football. And he slides across the 40-yard line. He gains 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Hey, fans, don't forget, coming up at halftime, we're going to talk about that young man, the 12th mid. Plus, we'll give you scores and highlights. We saw Brad Bolin earlier in the ball game on the opening kickoff. We'll find out more about him. Give you a chance to break down the highlights of this first half, and it's been an entertaining first half. I mean, both teams have gone back and forth as we're even in 14. Although Navy with 260 yards of total offense, they've been very effective on the ground with 235.
Well, it's very demoralizing for a defense when somebody runs it as much at you as Navy did with the success that they had. You thought this team, this Temple team, 0-10, hey, you know, why play? Not why play anymore, but very difficult to finish the game. But they've competed, they've hung in there. And Navy's in a dogfight right now.
Speaking of dog fights, all around the country there's dog fights with college basketball, college football, and you can see anything on the college football landscape, college basketball landscape, catching live action with CSTV All Access. That's right, watch more than 50 games streamed right to your computer, plus watch streaming press conferences, see exclusive athlete features, coaches shows, and more, both live and archived. It's the best way to follow your team all season. Log on to CSTV.com to subscribe.
Well, you think, Temple calls timeout right here on a 2nd and 4. They got to be designing something for Bruce Gordon. It seems like he's the big play guy. He's already got 8 grabs for 101 yards and the 22-yard touchdown strike from McGann.
We haven't seen Jamel Harris, who has averaged over 12 yards per catch. As of yet, he's had 1 ball thrown at him. McGann trying to set up the screen to Ferguson. He does set it up. He's got blockers. He's got the midfield, too. And he smartly goes out of bounds at about the 48-yard line to stop the clock with 42 seconds to play in the first half.
Temple still does have 1 timeout left, but he does a nice job, like you said, Tom, getting outside, getting out of bounds. Good job by McGann, too. He waits to that last second, sticks it in the stomach. You see the big man outside. He needs to get a hat on somebody, but good job getting out of bounds to stop the clock, like you said.
Ferguson this afternoon has rushed the ball for 65 yards. That reception has given him 25 yards in the air. So 70 yards of total offense. McGann, meanwhile, is now 14 of 19. And he's going to work out of the shotgun. Again, sets up a pass to Ferguson. And again, he will get out of bounds, this time at the 42-yard line. We talked about Mike McGann, the starting quarterback for Temple, and we talked about the fact coming in that he was struggling with just 2 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. But this is a young man who has thrown for over 5,800 yards now in his college career. I mean, there's been some success there.
And you said you've seen him early in his career when they played Rutgers, and sometimes when you're thrown to the wolves, not necessarily thrown to the wolves, but when you start at that young an age, so much quarterback play is in your head. It's all about confidence.
Again to throw on 2nd down, and his pass is nearly intercepted. Jeremy McGowan, number 8, stepped up. Pass was intended for Bruce Francis, and it'll force a 3rd down now.
Again, trying to lead him inside, and he did have a high safety. He tried to make the catch right there, but that's tough going right there. You got 2 receivers coming down, both in the same spot. That's the problem right there. You got 2 guys in a 5-yard area. There needs to be more separation. You want to get that safety McGowan to go over the top and take Gordon on the outside.
Temple so far today, 3 of 5 on 3rd downs. A big one here. The pass is incomplete. It's a wobbler to Bruce Gordon.
Yeah, he just threw that one right in the dirt.
And there's still 27 seconds left to play in this 4th quarter.
I mean, Gordon coming on the backside. You're looking at McGann from the backside. And he just aims this thing, and he just throws a duck right into the dirt. But if he'd have caught that, they had a 1st down right on the 32-yard line.
Well, when, as a quarterback, when you
done that a million times.
When you don't throw the ball well. I mean, as soon as it leaves your hands.
That's the problem. Sometimes guys are so wide open, as Gordon was right there, you almost aim it. And that's one of the problems I think McGann has. He's so mechanical. He's a big guy, 6'6". Sometimes he aims that ball in there too much.
Facing a 4th down, they're 5 of 15 on the year. McGann will keep it himself out of the shotgun, and he at least has the 1st down across the 35-yard line.
That'll stop the clock.
He'll call the timeout, too. Stops the clock to move the chains, but they will use.
He's trying to call time.
Oh, they didn't see it.
Yeah, smart thing right here is to spike it. Save that timeout.
McGann under center. He will just spike it quickly. I'm surprised that they did not see him call the time, unless somebody on the sideline said no.
I think McGann was the only one trying to call time.
So they still have 1 timeout left. McGann goes over to the sidelines. He had a quick conversation with Bobby Wallace. Bobby walked the sidelines, normally without a headset during the course of this ball game, but he's got one on now.
At least want to pick up 10 more yards here to give your kicker a shot. You get 10 more, you're talking about a 43-yarder, 42-yarder.
And it's nearly intercepted by Keenan Little. I was about to say that they've got the 10 and more, but Little slid in at the last minute and had it right in his mitts. Little's numbers, 6'2", 194 pounds, good size, the aerospace engineering major.
Could have had his 3rd interception on the season.
And he has played well this year for the midshipmen.
I mean, McGann really stares down his receivers. That's the one thing, and I think that's the correlation that you see with the high interception to touchdown ratio that he came into the game with, 13-2.
Clock winds, close to 10 seconds to play. The pass is complete to Bruce Francis, who's down at the 25.
Should call for a measurement here.
I think that's what the coaching staff right now is asking the officials on the side. Bobby Wallace ran up, and I believe he asked that same thing. As the clock is stopped, they're going to say first down.
Yep.
So McGann, who's over toward the far side of the field, now will settle under center on first down. Clock winds, 3 seconds, now 2 seconds, and now Temple needs to use a timeout. I'm not sure if that was designed to let it go down to 1 to bring Lux onto the field to attempt a field goal, or if they just couldn't get the play out.
Well, there's 9 seconds right there. If you spike it, it takes it down to 8.
Yep.
Right at the snap. He told McGann to go over the center. He waited until there was 1 second left. This would be the last play of the half. So Navy here, I mean, you can go after this kick, block it, and you want to change the course of a game. You know, special teams wise.
Paul Johnson, the head coach of the midshipmen, in his 4th season, trying to become bowl eligible with a victory today on Senior Day here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Talking to him this week, he said if they can get to a bowl for a 3rd consecutive year, it says an awful lot for the program just because of what the kids go through and how far they have come over the last 4 years. Lux,
2 consecutive Commander-in-Chief trophies.
Yep. And they'll try to take care of a 3rd when they take on Army on December 3rd. A timeout is called by the midshipmen.
Icing them.
So 14 all, Temple and Navy. It's a full day of college football coming up on CSTV. Lafayette will take on rival Lehigh. That's up next. Then at 8, Memphis looks to rebound from its tough loss to Tennessee as it takes on fellow Conference USA foe Southern Miss. And we wrap the day up at 12:30 a.m. Eastern when Montana and Montana State will take on each other. It's always a big rivalry. Don't forget, Game Tracker Live will be sandwiched in between those ball games as well. Football Nation all day long on CSTV. Lux will attempt a 42-yard field goal. 0 for 1 today. He has 24 points overall in the year. The holder is Mike McLaughlin. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It's a wobbler, and it is good. And Temple will head into the locker room on top 17-14 thanks to the 42-yard field goal by Ryan Lux, the senior from Wildomar, California. So Temple will go on top 17-14, and it's turned out to be a fairly productive half for the Owls. They've picked up 241 yards of total offense. The midshipmen, meanwhile, with 260 yards of total offense, 235 on the ground. The offense has been effective, but as Paul Johnson, the head coach of Navy, joins us, coaches go into the locker room. I guess the adjustments will have to be made on the defensive end for the midshipmen.
I would think we got to find a way to get them off the field if we can.
One thing that Lamar's doing is he's running the option well with his feet, and Ballard has been a good presence as well.
Well, when we've had the ball, we haven't had the ball very much. We've got to see if we can get the ball a few more times.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half. Again, it's 17-14. Temple is on top of Navy. We are at halftime here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. We got a whole lot coming up, including Game Tracker Live. That's right, they're going to be in New York. They're going to get you up to date on what's going on with the 12th man, and also they're going to get you caught up on the day in college football. We'll head to New York and Game Tracker Live. Kind of a surprise during the course of this first half that Temple was able to move the football, Scotty, as well as they did.
Well, I thought Mike McGann, he came out, he played well. Not only were they able to throw the ball well, Temple, able to rush it well also with Ferguson. I mean, they got it cranking, they got a good plays on first down, killed themselves with a reverse early in the game, thought that may have come back to haunt them, but they played well since, and now they're in a 17-14 lead right now.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. It began for Temple on their first drive. They moved all the way down, but then a missed field goal. So then Navy got the football, but a turnover. Antoine Burton just put his big paws in, took the football, and rumbled 20 yards.
Yeah, but good news for Navy. They've corrected that problem. They're either giving it to the big fullback or they're bouncing it outside to guys like Nelson.
Nelson scores there. Ballard's over 100 yards. Josh Bundy also is in the end zone for the Temple Owls. And Lamar Owens, he got in the end zone for Navy.
Lamar Owens did a great job rushing the football today. But there you see McGann right there looking to play her off, hitting Gordon on the 22-yard post pattern. And here's the field goal right before the half. Nice job of clock management, calling a timeout, 1 second left. They have the lead, Tom.
Temple offensive line coach is ecstatic about that lead. It's time now for the Nissan shift performance. What needs to be done in the second half?
Well, first of all, Navy needs to get pressure on McGann. Either they need to start blitzing. I know they don't like to do that, but somehow they got to get some twists with the guys up front. Convert third down conversions, only 2 of 7 today, and start the passing attack. Owens is yet to get in a good rhythm. Anytime he's tried to throw the football, it's been off the mark or on the ground.
Let's see what kind of rhythm he gets in when we come back for the second half. That's right, Navy down 17-14. Good crowd enjoying this one, but they would enjoy a Navy victory even more.
America's favorite home gym is more affordable than ever. Now you can get the all-new Bowflex Extreme for just $19 a month. Call the number on your screen for a free DVD or video and check it out. Bowflex's Power Rod technology delivers results. Powerful arms, defined legs, a stronger chest, and a toned, sexy core. And owning a Bowflex home gym is so affordable. Great results are easy with a new Extreme. All it takes is one simple workout, 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, to get in the best shape of your life. The Extreme is built so well that we back it with an unrivaled 7-year warranty. And so effective, it comes with Bowflex's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Through this special offer, you can own one with no money down and just $19 per month. You can't get this Bowflex deal anywhere else. Call us for a free DVD or video, or visit us online and find out how to get your Bowflex for just $19 a month today.
I ran the 800. I studied mechanical engineering and industrial design. I was a conference champion. I graduated with a GPA of 3.2. It took hard work, discipline, and stamina. And believe me, I rely on those things every day raising my daughter.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Integrity, an ideal that sets the United States Naval Academy apart. Rigorous academics, leadership training, and character development challenge our midshipmen and shape them morally, mentally, and physically. With a common pursuit of honor, courage, and commitment. Dedicated to serve as officers in the Navy and Marine Corps. These young men and women are the U.S. Naval Academy. Leadership and vision for the 21st century.
You know, this game we love has so much to offer young men. And over the years, it's taught me many things. Not just about football, but about life. Things like sportsmanship and character, teamwork and cooperation. And of course, the importance of the ultimate goal of college football and education. It's a great game, and it prepares you for a great life. NCAA football, a lifetime of opportunity.
CSTV Football Nation is being brought to you by Nissan. Some of the great sights here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. This halftime crowd settling back in. They'll get a chance to see Navy on offense to begin this second half. And with that, we will welcome back Ryan Lux, who will kick off for the Temple Owls. He's 1 for 2 on field goal attempts today, and that's why Temple has a 17-14 lead. Reggie Campbell's number 7. He stands back deep to receive for the midshipmen. And this is a returnable kick from the 4-yard line. Campbell's got very good speed, and he has blockers. And he has a seam across the 35-yard line. And he's finally taken down by Justin Johnson at the 40. And there is a flag that came down very late. The officials will sort this one out. Flag actually came from the back judge, Scott.
Usually it's a...
Well, will be a personal foul called against the midshipmen. What were you going to say? It's usually what?
Usually a block in the back.
Dead ball Personal foul. Number 44, team. 15 yards from the end. First down.
It's only the third penalty this afternoon for the midshipmen. Paul Johnson on the sidelines.
Two big ones, though, Tom. 2 personal fouls.
His team now will begin at the 25-yard line. Its first offensive possession of the second half.
Well, Justin Johnson saved that thing from going a distance, but hey, would have got called back anyway.
On first down from the 25, Owens will hand it off to Ballard. They went to Adam Ballard often in the first half, 15 different times, and there's his 16th carry of the day, and he has been very impressive running the football.
He has 110 yards so far in the day, and it's not like this guy's filling in because so many times many different guys touch the ball in this Navy offense, and it's not uncommon for us to come here each week and we see 7 different guys carry the football, some of which have 40 yards each, and there's never one dull moment. You don't know when you're going to touch it. You don't know who's going to get it next.
Owens will keep it this time and then pitches it to Nelson. Nelson following block of Tomlinson. Oh, he's able to muscle his way across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Hey, not even the run, but just catching this pitch, because this was almost a lateral. Talking about being right down the line of scrimmage. Owens does a nice job on the fake, but right here he almost waits too long to pitch it. Nelson did a good job waiting for that, grabbing it, and then just taking it upfield.
Marco Nelson with 3 carries this afternoon for 56 yards for the midshipmen. His assignment, which came out this week, is that he will be a surface warfare officer, much like Lamar Owens. And a first down for the midshipmen. Owens looking to throw on first down. The pressure's there. He was helped out by a nice block from Nelson, but Knighton came in and was able to take him down for a loss of 2.
Yeah, good job by Knighton staying at home, because so many times throughout the course of that first half, we saw Owens, who's getting up a little slow right now. We saw him escape, have that nice escapability to make bad plays into good ones, and he had popped off a 10-yarder. You take a look at him right here, nothing working outside. He comes back. Now watch Knight come off the block. He just swallows him up.
Mendenhall, number 45, Scott, was there with the initial pressure.
And he's the rush end.
Yeah. Came into this ball game with 60 tackles, and I believe Navy has just used a timeout, and there's Brian Hampton, who maybe is getting ready to come in if Lamar Owens cannot shake off that tenderness after that tackle.
Well, that's the thing, you know, with Owens getting up slowly, took him a while to get back to the huddle. They didn't get the play in until late. Forced to take this time out right now.
Hampton's talking in the huddle almost like he's ready to go in. He's going to circle around and take some snaps real quick from James Rossi. See the numbers last week against Notre Dame. His first career passing touchdown. Now that was a game, if not for miscues in the first half, Navy would have been in more going into halftime, but Hampton came in the second half and actually did a pretty nice job.
Did a nice job driving the football down, opening drive. It was 7-7 for a while. Then Notre Dame took a 14-7 lead. Then there was a turnover that killed Navy because they were driving the football to tie that football game up.
Let's take a look at what happened to Lamar Owens on this last play. See Knight, number 92, come
looked like the right knee, right leg. Looked like it gave out a little bit on him, similar to the way it did on Whitaker.
Yeah, Carlos Whitaker, the outstanding freshman for the Naval Academy. He will not be back for the remainder of this day. We saw him walk off the field earlier in the ball game, and Hampton does come in, the junior, who averages just under 4 yards per rush out of the option, and has completed 6 passes for Paul Johnson here in 2005. He'll run the option on his first play. He'll keep it himself. And part of the reason why he had to keep it himself is because the Temple defense converged nicely. Not just one guy, Scott, but a couple of guys on that opening.
They have good pursuit out of the defense. I tell you what, this Temple team, being 0-10, Tom, you're going to be the most passionate one. I mean, they're playing with a lot of zeal today. They haven't quit.
Bobby Wallace was asked this week about winning at least one game. It would be the first time since '59, if Temple doesn't win, that they would go winless in a season. And he said he doesn't look at it as being 1-10 as Hampton gets nailed and taken down by Christian Dunbar, the senior from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And Dunbar is a little slow to get up after that sack.
He may have hurt himself.
This is a kid who has played a handful of different positions for Temple. He has been a tight end, a linebacker, a strong safety, and now a defensive end.
He had a long road to get to Temple. You want to talk about background with this guy.
Yeah. After graduating from high school, he traveled cross country for 6 months, decided not to go to college as a track star out of high school, and then played for, I guess it's a semi-pro team up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it was run by Ronnie Lepet and Mosi Tatupo, whose son played at USC and is now with the Seattle Seahawks. They ran a semi-pro team. There wasn't any pay. I mean, you just played to have fun. It was a glorified flag football team, but you played with pads on. That's pretty much what it was. It didn't last for long. So it's not like he still had eligibility left. Thus, he was able to come to Temple. And it's just a long road traveled.
And Bobby Wallace has used him, as we said, in a number of different positions. We saw Wallace come out just to see if he was okay. Dunbar was okay. Dunbar, whose grandfather was the president of Liberia for 27 years. He's got a pretty good legacy going for himself.
It's amazing.
And right now he's a little slow to get up off the ground. Navy is facing a 4th down and 15. Dunbar looks like he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like a little burner sometimes when you pop someone that good. When you get that burner, it goes down through your body, down the whole one side, through your leg, through your arm. Now he's jogging off, and that's a good sign.
Well, he is an undersized defensive end, and you know it's easy to say that, but he's 6'2".
a tweener.
Yeah, 6'2", 235. I mean, he really is more of a linebacker or a safety. Shuey, the senior, stands inside his 25-yard line, ready to punt the football away for the midshipman. This one is off the side of his foot. Santa Cruz will let it bounce, and it takes a Navy roll to the 25-yard line of Temple. And that's where the Owls will get the football for the first time in this second half. They have an advantage. They're on top 17-14 as McGann brings his team back out onto the field.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah, oh yeah. Screensaver.
Wait, you gotta see this one. Look. Oh.
Look at him standing on his hind legs, ready to pounce.
Who knew woodchucks would attack like that? It's like a brown furry missile coming right at you.
Tell better stories. Your 270 horsepower, 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder.
Woodchuck.
Why is Sirius the choice in satellite radio?
It feels like you got every song ever made. Rock, pop, hip-hop, no commercials.
We get a ton of music, no commercials.
It's comedy, no bleeps. You know what I'm saying?
If it involves a uniform, a stick, a ball, bang, it's right in there.
Bang, NFL is in there.
It's the best thing I ever put in my car. Next to him.
It's flat out better than regular radio.
It's more than just radio. It's Sirius satellite radio. Right now, get a Sirius satellite radio for under $50.
America is football nation, and our capital is CSTV. Next Saturday at 2, the nation's second leading rusher, D'Angelo Williams, leads the Memphis Tigers into battle against the hard-hitting defense of the Marshall Thundering Herd. Citizens of Football Nation unite, because once you leave the field of battle, we all live under the same great flag. Next Saturday at 2, the Marshall Thundering Herd takes on the Memphis Tigers.
17-14 the score. Temple is on top by 3. And the fans who have settled in here to Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, I'm not sure if they expected this at this point. A 3-point lead for the Owls with 12:09 left to play in the second half. Or excuse me, the third quarter. McGann hands it off to Ferguson on the first play for the Owls. Nice bounce out to the outside. He drives McGowan toward the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 16 for Omar Ferguson.
This guy's a slash runner. Nothing cooking on the strong side. You see him follow his fullback up in the hole, but watch the vision. Keeps his legs moving, bounces it. He sees that cutback lane. Good job running over the safety, and something to be said for the schedule that they did play, Tom. You know, 0-10. We talked about it in the open. The 10 teams that they did play were at least 500, and there's a chance that all 11 can go to a bowl game, which is pretty much unheard of as far as the schedule.
Yeah, Bobby Wallace's schedule has been tough. I mean, at Arizona State, at Wisconsin, I mean, they've had some very good opponents. Speaking of very good, Bruce Gordon's having a very good day, and on first down, he slides away from Jason Montz after making that reception and gets maybe 5 yards, so it'll be second down and 5.
You're starting to see a pattern here. Either they're going to run the football or they play fake on first down, run this slip screen. Now watch Montz right there. Look at Gordon slip him. Almost shook him out of his shoes, and what you're facing now is a 2nd and 4, and this is what they want.
Gordon now 8 catches, 101 yards. It's 2nd down for the out. 2nd and 4. They need to get across midfield, across the 49 for a first down. They'll rely on Ferguson to get a few here. And he is taken down. Biles came in to finish up that tackle for the midshipman. There's Jake Biles, the senior, came into this game 2nd on the team in tackles. He joined forces with Jeremy McGowan to make that tackle.
Yeah, that's what they're starting to do. They started to work McGowan up inside in the box, which Navy's shown is a cover 2. They're staying in that soft cover 2. At some point here, they're going to have to apply some pressure. You know, Temple's getting in that iffy area. They're just starting to get around midfield. Now you see him come out of the cover 2, and there's a free safety deep.
Laycock is under 5 on 3rd down. The handoff to Ferguson. And the pressure was there. Jeremy Chase, 49, made the initial hit, and then DeJuan Price, 25, made the finishing tackle for the midshipman.
And that was a huge tackle right there. And you look at McGowan come up and Chase. Here's the thing: you pin him in the backfield. Now all of a sudden they don't at least get 1 yard, which forces a 4th and 1. And then you get Bobby Wallace starting to think, maybe we could go for it here. But you see Biles in the mix. You see Larry Silk. Good job swarming.
And at 4th down, Ryan Lux will punt for the 2nd time today. Tomlinson stands back at his 10-yard line. This is going to be a short punt, but it will take a Temple bounce inside the 10-yard line before Mendenhall will stop it at the 7. So Navy will have possession, but not the best of field position. They're down by 3. They've got ground to make up when we return.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah, oh yeah. Screensaver.
Wait, you gotta see this one. Look. Oh. Look at him standing on his hind legs, ready to pounce. Who knew woodchucks would attack like that? It's like a brown furry missile coming right at you.
Tell better stories in the 270 horsepower, 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder.
Woodchuck.
This is astounding. 7 medals in a row. What's his secret? What's he doing so differently?
Still going. Energizer. Keeps going and going and going and going.
NCAA volleyball is back on CSTV. Non-stop, heart-pounding action from the best volleyballers around the country. CSTV takes you courtside for every dig and kill. From the first serve to the final spike, NCAA volleyball on CSTV. Tomorrow at 3, it's an AVCA Match of the Week Championship triple header.
During the 4 years here at the Naval Academy for seniors like Lamar Owens, they've registered a 25-21 record. And they're trying to pick up win number 26 this afternoon. 18 seniors playing their final game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Adam Ballard has a number of games left, but he's making this one count. And on first down, he gains nearly 5 before Ryan Gore makes the tackle. Lamar Owens back in the ball game. Took off a handful of downs on the last possession. See the numbers, the combined numbers. He has 87 yards of total offense. It's 2nd down for the midshipman. And again, it's Ballard, and he just takes the pile forward for a first down to the 26. And, you know, Scott, we think about what Navy needs to do to retake the lead, and I guess it's basically just running their stuff like this.
Oh, this is it. You see Ballard hammered up inside in the hole. He continues to carry ball defenders. But you are what you are, and you're a great option attack that runs the football. You have over 250 yards already in this game. Continue to do that. At some point, get Reggie Campbell involved in that passing game. How many times have we seen him in 3rd and 4th quarters catch that seam route?
Well, he's in motion right now, but the handoff goes to Ballard. And on first down, he gets maybe 2 before he is knocked back. Number 92 was there for the Temple Owls to help clean things up, along with Antoine Burton, number 99. Burton's played well today.
They have, but you ask, what do they need to do? Look how good Nelson has been running the ball on the outside. Whitaker had it going for a while, and Owens has done a great job running the option when he's kept it and cut it up inside the tackle, and just keep giving it to Ballard up the middle. There's really nothing you have to draw up in the dirt as far as X's and O's that you need to correct.
Campbell in motion again. Owens
there
to
it is.
throw. Pass to the middle, and it's complete to Marco Nelson. Tracked down by Garrett Schultz. Marco Nelson, who has a touchdown run, just freed himself in the secondary.
I think those Navy coaches downstairs heard me on that one.
It's nice when you can sprinkle your opinion.
Here's the seam route. Here he comes. You're going to see him go right up the crease here. Good play action fake. I mean, no free safety. Schultz is committed up inside, 8 yards off the ball. You could do that with Nelson. You could do it with Reggie Campbell. Reggie Campbell catches that. That's to the house. Nice touch by Owens, just laying it out, getting the completion. And here you are. You're back in business. 1st and goal from the 10.
Only the 3rd completion of the day for Lamar Owens, but he hasn't had to throw it an awful lot. He's handed it off to Ballard a lot, and he does so here on 1st and goal from inside the 10. And Ballard is stopped at the 9.
Yeah, but you can tell early in the football game, Owens was struggling, trying to throw that sideline comeback route. They tried to throw it about 3 times. He wasn't even close on any of them. He's very good at those little crossing routes over the middle and reading blitzes and throwing those little seam routes to those fast guys that run up the hash.
2nd down and goal from the 9. Owens has a touchdown run today. Navy down by 3. Content to give it off to Ballard again, and the pile leans forward for a couple more to the 7-yard line. Mike Mendenhall, number 45, in on the tackle. Well, Ballard has certainly answered the call this afternoon.
This is a spot where they may miss Whitaker. That's a guy they like to bring in on that wing, put him in motion, and run that toss play with him out to the open field.
Well, to compensate right now, Scott, they've brought in Eddie Martin, number 32. He'll line up in the right side of that option in the slot position. Owens looking to throw. On 3rd and goal, Ballard off his fingertips. He was wide open, and the ball was just led a little too high. So it's 4th down, and, well, I'll tell you, Ballard got his hand on that one. I'd love to see if he could have grabbed that.
Yeah, they fooled everybody, but for those big guys and fullbacks, tight ends, H-backs, what you need to do, and you can see just a little bit past his reach, you need to stick that ball in their numbers. That was an okay throw there. You need to be a little more accurate on that.
Bullen on to attempt a 25-yard field goal. Hampton is the holder, the backup quarterback. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is through. So we are tied at 17. Boy, Bullen has been a huge weapon this year for the midshipmen. 6:19 to play in the 3rd quarter, all even at 17.
What you got?
Why this?
Give it here.
Of course. Then maybe I'll transform and impale you with ice spears, ambush and thrash you to oblivion. And in between destroying evil and saving kingdoms, bathe you with searing fire. Thought so. Rated T for teen.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah, oh yeah. Screensaver.
Wait, you gotta see this one. Look. Oh! Look at him standing on his hind legs, ready to pounce. Who knew woodchucks would attack like that? It's like a brown furry missile coming right at you.
Tell better stories. The 270 horsepower, 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder.
Woodchuck.
People have been waiting for this game for a long time. In fact, the fans are already out in force. The marching band is here as well. Coming up on the countdown to kick off really
football. Are you in good hands?
It has been a pretty even ball game, and the score is indicative of that. It's 17-all at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, a crowd of more than 30,000. Bobby Wallace's final game as the head coach at Temple, and Scott, those numbers tell some of the reason why.
It's not a misprint.
Yep.
I mean, Unbelievable numbers.
Temple has scored just 107 total points. This is including today.
We're coming in, we're doing the game, and I had to do a reread. 11 touchdowns, 4 field goals the entire year.
Tell you what, that guy is as good as it gets, though. Bobby Wallace, a couple national championships in Northern Alabama. His offense has done some nice things today. They're getting pretty good field position, and they get it again here.
They play very good on special teams. They have nice returns. The defense has a little pop to it.
Talking to Bobby Wallace this week, he said that he's going to step away at the age of 51 for the time being. He is going to go home to Alabama, to Gulfport, Alabama. And he's going to take some time just to think about his options. 19-70 in 8 years at Temple. He's gone through an awful lot of valleys as the head coach at Temple. It's first down and 10 from the 30 for McGann off the play fake. He got himself some room to throw or run, and he's going to run. And he runs himself for a first down as he slides across the 40. It's a gain of 10.
It's a good decision right there. They tried to run a backside flood route off the play action. You see McGann have a nice little fake. He's going to wheel out to the backside here. All of a sudden, boom, there the flat's covered. Here comes the deep drag. He's double covered. Good decision, tucking it down, sliding feet first. He's got to watch a little bit when a quarterback commits with his feet first. You can't go for the head. You don't want another silly penalty.
Haven't been a lot of penalties today. In fact, Navy has 3. Temple has not been penalized this entire game. On first down with the backs in the I formation. Again, a quick drop. Sounded like looked like he was going to audibilize, and he did, and he got Jamel Harris open on the outside for a gain of 6.
I mean, that's a nice catch right there, and almost a nice miss. Gordon's done it before. They have some talent on the perimeter.
And Scott, that's now 18 for 26. It's Harris's first catch of the day, but 18 of 26 for Mike McGann.
Well, not even just throwing on that previous play where he elected not to throw and he ran it. Those little decisions like that, that's what's killed him before here. I mean, he came into this game 13 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. He's playing efficient football, and that's what you want out of your quarterback.
He's 19 yards away from his 13th 200-yard game of his career. A senior from Havertown, PA, who redshirted last year. It's second down and 4 for the Owls. They need to get across midfield for a first down. Again off the play fake, again under pressure, steps up, and he throws it long to the outside. Incomplete. He had a man open. It was Bruce Gordon. And Gordon was able to speed his way past the defenders.
Oh, he was trying to get there too, man. McGann did a fantastic job stepping up not only once but twice. He did a double shuffle up in the pocket to buy some extra time. He just laid it out there a little too much. You see Gordon, he wanted that one too. Bruce. What, Keenan Little has had a tough day trying to cover Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon's been very elusive, and he's been not only long, but he's also been in the mix with these short passes too. Gordon, who out of junior college went to Purdue for spring football, got hurt, and then decided to transfer to Temple University. 3rd and 4. McGann to throw again to the middle. It's complete.
Turf got him.
Ryan Allbrooks is the receiver. He's a guy who's been battling an elbow sprain, an ankle sprain, and he got a first down. And let's take a look at the numbers now for the quarterbacks. For McGann, that completion puts him close to 190 yards. He's at 189. I mean, it's different offenses too.
Right. Right, and that's the thing. But Lamar Owens has made the big play. Not only today, but in past games where his team was teetering. Are we going to make the run here or not? Usually made that shot to Tomlinson or Reggie Campbell. He did it today to Nelson. But like you said, Tom, 2 completely different offenses.
Temple from midfield. The handoff is fake to Ferguson. McGann to throw on the run, and he's able to reach his tight end, Ben Hendy. And he has a first down as that ball went right past the fingertips of the defender.
Yeah, it was David Mahoney, and he elected to go for the interception right there. But another play action. They're killing him with the play action. You talk about guys getting sucked up inside. But Mahoney tried to make the play there.
Hendy, just a freshman from Sandy, Utah, at Hillcrest High School. Good size at 235 pounds and 6'3". It's only his 2nd reception of the year. For the first down, another run for Ferguson. Another bounce to the outside. He has read it well, and he's across the 20 before he's taken down by Jeremy Chase and DeJuan Price, and a flag came in late. There was some late contact after the play had been blown dead. And it's going to be a penalty called against the Temple Owls. That's their first one. It's going to go against the receiver, Bruce Gordon, right at the end of the play, Scotty.
There he is right here. Take a look at him coming down. You know, it's a good job by receiver trying to block. But you see the hand. Anytime the hand comes off the pads, and there it is, he even does it, you know, in case you missed it, ref. Here's another one for you.
Hey, by the way, good job by Keenan Little.
Can't touch the helmet, can't touch the face mask.
Well, and Little, I mean, there was some activities we said after that play was over, and, you know, Gordon put his hand to the face of Little again, and Little just held him.
Yeah.
Just held him right there and didn't get involved.
It's good discipline.
Yep, that's good restraint, too. And as we said, it's the first penalty of the day for the Temple Owls. Here's Keenan Little, the junior from Boiling Springs, North Carolina. Recruited by the ACC, committed to Wake Forest early, and then decided to come to the Naval Academy. Raymond Vaughn, the referee, trying to decide the penalty and where the football is going to go. Four minutes left to play in the third quarter. Paul Johnson with the line judge on the near side of the field. Anthony Cannella.
Still first down.
So still first down. Bobby Wallace's squad penalized for the first time this afternoon. Hey fans, tomorrow NCAA volleyball on CSTV. AVCA Match of the Week brings you 3 championship matches beginning at noon. Big East Championship from the University of Louisville. Then at 5, Conference USA takes center stage, and at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's the Patriot League's turn. 3 matches, 3 bids for the NCAA tournament. That's tomorrow on CSTV. First down for the Owls. Out of the shotgun, began to throw, and it's complete. Pretty good grab by Francis on a ball that was behind him, and a good run after the catch for a first down.
Just would like to see what that play could have developed into if he puts that ball out in front of him. I mean, that's thrown behind him. The receiver has to stop. Francis does a nice job catching it off the back shoulder. It almost spins him around. It actually does. He keeps his feet. Still gets to the outside and gets to the sideline. DeJuan Price forces him out of bounds. They continue to make plays, Tom, even after penalties.
Those numbers for Francis, Scotty, 12 catches for
not on the day. That's not on the day. That's right, for the season.
For the year end, that includes 68 2 weeks ago against Virginia. McGann having the best game of his senior year right now on first down. He'll throw again, and it's complete to Ferguson, who's wrapped up by David Mahoney.
Great job by Mahoney. Reading the screen. He had 2 big guys on him.
David Mahoney, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida. He and Matt Hall spent a lot of time together before they came to the Naval Academy. Mahoney 3rd on the team in tackles this year. And there you see the current drive for the Temple Owls. They have moved the football today.
They're taking time off the clock.
Yep. This drive is now over 3 minutes. And the 9th play of the drive is a run. And George Coleman, spelling Umar Ferguson for the first time today, actually stumbled right out of the backfield. Excuse me, that's not George Coleman. That is Michael Billups.
Yeah, and he had Elliott Seifert, big number 7. He was on the backside there, and he had his guy walled off, and there was a crease. And if he could have kept his feet, he would have walked into the end zone.
Billups has spent time in the backfield with Coleman and also with Ferguson throughout the year, and he realized that he had an opening because of that block. That's why he was bumping himself and falling down inside the 15. It's 3rd down for Navy. McGann, or excuse me, for Temple. McGann to throw, and it's incomplete. He tried to get his tight end, Hendy. I think Hendy sensed the steps, and he just reached up instead of moving the body for that catch.
He had 3 defenders around him, and good job by Caldwell. But McGann sitting in the pocket, and he really forced this one in there. I mean, if he throws that a little more inside and sticks it on his body, You know, then they get the ball at the 2, then you get a 1st and goal. You're not lining up to kick a field goal right now. Good break on the ball by Caldwell.
Ryan Luck-Scott will be on to attempt a 29-yard field goal. He's 1 for 2 today. He's actually had a busy day compared to the other games he's played this season, and that one is blocked. And it just spins into the end zone. And good special teams by the midshipmen to make sure that this game remained locked at 17 apiece.
Second big stop by the Navy defense down inside the red zone. It's tough to look like who that was, or they look like it was big number 96.
Yeah, Andrew Tattersall, who did get his paw up there and knock it away. There's Tattersall, the junior from Fern Park, Florida. Part of a 3-man defensive line that has circled a number of different guys as this year's moved on. So Owens on 1st down with a pitch to Nelson. And he scampers his way out toward the 30-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds by Manuel Tapia, who is the leading tackler for the Temple Owls, 40th nationally with 9.3 tackles per game. He had 10 tackles a couple weeks ago against Virginia.
That's the thing. Nelson now 4 carries, 66 yards. This guy really gets it cranked. He's got some speed to get to the outside. Just
sure
like you
does.
said, Tom.
Ballard to his left, bounces off of 1 tackler, and then gets a couple to his right before he's taken down. Bobby Fulmore, the Owl safety, made that tackle.
Here comes Reggie Campbell into the game. They're starting to insert that speed.
Campbell, number 7. He's going to line up in a slot to the left of Lamar Owens. Ballard right up the middle, just carrying the pile close to the 38-yard line, and then second effort across the 40. A 1st down for Adam Ballard. Boy, that is huge. It just extends this drive for the midshipmen.
Oh, the midshipmen love it here, and you can see the fans. Look at the leg drive right there, and he's carrying some weight. 315 he's listed as Dighton, but no way. I'm talking 330. And that's just willpower.
Gives Navy its 18th 1st down of this ball game. Owens looking to throw on 1st down under pressure. Throws to Campbell, who stepped up and just couldn't hang on. Fulmore, number 15, was there as well. There is a flag down, and that's because Antoine Burton, who you see right there, just knocked Lamar Owens to the ground. It's going to be a late hit called on Burton.
That's that post route. Here you take another look at it. Owens, there it is, helmet to helmet. They'll call that 10 out of 10 times. The quarterback's extended, and he's exposed. That's a big one. That's a 15-yarder.
We've talked about Burton all day, and he's played very well, but that is a mistake. Time now to take a look at the Xbox Live Big Play replay. And it is the blocked field goal, Andrew Tattersall. And he keeps it at 17 apiece. And also this catch and run by Marco Nelson. He's had a very good day. That set up Navy's field goal in this quarter. Temple's 1 for 3 on field goals. Navy has been productive on their lone attempt. Ballard gets a couple to the 42-yard line.
It's his 23rd carry of the day. They're really working him. Talk about a guy that's going to be sore tomorrow.
23 carries, 147 yards for Ballard. He came in with 180 yards the entire year.
Yeah, but you go back to that last pass play, you can see what they're trying to do with Campbell. That middle of the field was open. If Owens could have let him across, could have scored.
Last play of the 3rd quarter, pitch to Marco Nelson. Made a nice catch on the pitch, and then Garrett Schultz came up, number 9, to make that tackle. And that is the final play of this 3rd quarter. When we get back, it'll be 3rd down for Navy from the 39-yard line of Temple. The game deadlocked at 17.
Oh, that's a keeper.
Yeah, oh yeah. Screensaver.
Wait, you gotta see this one. Look. Oh! Look at him standing on his hind legs, ready to pounce. Who knew woodchucks would attack like that? It's like a brown furry missile coming right at you.
Tell better stories in the 270 horsepower, 7-passenger Nissan Pathfinder.
Woodchuck.
It's something we all agree on. It's something we all do. And this is how it's done. The USO depends entirely on the generosity of the American people. Help us support our troops until everyone comes home.
The United States Naval Academy, established in 1845, is the undergraduate college for the Navy. It prepares young men and women to become professional officers in the Navy and Marine Corps. The United States Naval Academy is where America develops the leaders of tomorrow. It is where the core values of honor, courage, and commitment are nurtured, and where the vision of America's future is shaped.
15 more minutes here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, at least that, with Temple and Navy locked at 17. The numbers from the third quarter, actually these are overall for the ball game, but as we finish up the third quarter, Navy with 384 yards of total offense, but Temple has matched the midshipmen not only in scoring, but also they've got 333 in total yards.
Oh, they're making enough plays to hang around, Tom, and that's the key.
Owens pass is complete to Ballard. Ballard room to run across the 10-yard line. And he's finally down at about the 6-yard line. Well, that will move Adam Ballard closer to 200 yards of total offense today.
Just continue to forget about the fullback in the passing game. He was wide open for a touchdown late in the third quarter. And Owens just threw it out of his reach, but you got so many guys to worry about that do have the speed. You know, not to say the Ballard doesn't, but when you're throwing the football, you usually forget about the fullback.
Well, Scotty, they're not going to forget about him here because it's first and goal from inside the 7. Owens will keep it himself, and he is taken down by Adam Fichter, the senior from Mars, Pennsylvania. So no gain on the play. It's now second down. Well, the option so far today for Navy has produced 294 total yards, but Temple's done a pretty good job against
Well, they have, and here's the big thing is they're getting penetration, which is forced. You just saw Owens right there, forcing him a little deep down the line of scrimmage. When you're running the option as a quarterback, you want to attack down this way. You see Dunbar right there. He comes up, forces Owens back a little bit. Now all of a sudden, Schultz is able to react. He comes up and makes a tackle on Nelson.
Schultz with 10 tackles this afternoon. Bobby Wallace said he needed to have at least 16 from Schultz. Well, he's got 10. There's Dunbar, who was nicked up earlier. Dunbar with 3 tackles through the first 3 quarters, but his presence has been there to fill the gaps on that option pitch. It's first down from the 11-yard line. First and goal off the penalty against Temple. Owens. Happy feet. And they're ecstatic inside the 5. Whoa, what a shoulder move inside the end zone. Looked like he was stopped here, Scotty, but I'll tell you what, he just put shoulder to shoulder.
This is like the first time he did it today, Tom. This is about the 8th time. You look at his feet, you look at the leg drag, gets a little help, a little shove right there at the end from Tomlinson. Man, for not a little guy, but a smaller guy, this guy can move, he can lower the shoulder, and he can get it in.
Second touchdown of the day, third extra point for Joey Bullen. It's 24-17. Navy is on top by a touchdown. A lot of push-ups for the Brigade. 14-15 to play.
The tourist cabin is designed to wrap around you. This is walnut inlay. The trim is chrome. It's great. It's got 12-way adjustable seats.
Get down. Could you just get down in your seat? Yeah, just a little lower.
Diane, how are you?
Dave, looks like you're doing well.
Yeah. See you around.
Okay.
The elegant, capable Touareg.
Ex-girlfriend? Yeah.
Come drive it. You'll get it. Right now, get a great deal on a Volkswagen Touareg.
Nothing outperforms Gillette M3 Power Nitro. Push the button and feel the boost in performance. Gillette's battery-powered motor sends micropulses to the patented Power Glide blades. Get unsurpassed comfort and the world's best shave. M3 Power blows away the competition. You'll be blown away or Gillette will give you your money back, guaranteed. Try Gillette M3 Power, the world's best shave, or your money back.
New! Get the best jokes directly on your cell phone. They're hilarious. Write a text message with the word joke to the number 85050 and press send. They're so funny. We will make your sense of humor even better. Impress your friends. Make them laugh. Let the joke of the day be your joy of the day. Do it now. Grab your phone and text the message joke to the number 85050.
16 touchdowns now for Lamar Owens on the season, including 2 this afternoon on the ground. That scoring drive, 8 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Owens now 14 carries, 73 yards, 120 yards in the air, so he is zeroing in on 200 yards of total offense. Schultz is back deep to receive for the Owls, and he'll wait for the kickoff at about the 7, and that's where he begins. And he is spun down at the 23-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown by Lamar Owens.
Yeah, speaking of Schultz, you're going to see him come out of the free safety position. You see Owens in the pocket. He sees nothing. Cuts it up inside. Coming from the left side of the screen right here, you're going to watch Schultz. Look at him just deliver the blow. And that's a guy that's got over 10 tackles, and he showed up inside the box today. Here's a listen.
And you know Owens feels good about that because of the contact, the fact that he was able to get into the end zone, give his team a 7-point lead. And now McGann back on offense, looking to throw. And his pass is complete to his tight end. Oh no, they're going to say incomplete. So it's now 2nd down and 10. This is an interesting point in the ball game too, Scotty. 14:05 left to play. McGann's played very well this afternoon. They're down by 7. They're 0-10. They're down now by a score. How does a team that's 0-10 come back, pick themselves back up?
You think this is the time they will collapse, and I'm sure they've done that throughout the course of the season, given some of the scores that they've lost to, but they have not shown that yet today. I mean, they drove the ball down at first drive. They had the reverse play, which they lost yards. They missed a field goal, yet they continued to fight. They scrapped, they came back, and I expect them to do that here.
In motion is Allbrooks. McGann is going to keep it himself and try to get some positive yards as he goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
Smart play right there. Trying to set up a screen pass. If he throws that ball downfield away, you could have Lyman downfield. You can get a flag for that. Instead, he picks up 5 yards. Now you get a 3rd and 5.
McGann, who's thrown for over 200 yards this afternoon, 22 of 33 passing the football. He's now under Bobby Wallace. Picked up 13 200-yard games. And you see the 3rd down conversions today for Temple. That's 50%. They're at 34% for the season. So an upgrade. Here it's 3rd down and 5. McGann off the play fake. Has time. Sets up. Fires. Incomplete. Oh, Rob Caldwell with a big paw. Caldwell in coverage, just reached over with his hand and knocked the ball away.
Second time we saw him do that today. They held the big tight end down in the red zone before. Just a little play action pass, and McGann tries to drill it into the tight end. Caldwell comes in from the backside. That's a good job keeping his left hand off the defender. So many times you see guys get caught because they kind of hug him around the backside. Then they come over the top with the paw. He stayed off it there.
Lux on to punt the football away. Tomlinson back inside his 40-yard line. And Lux is going to try to run for the 1st down. What a read. He's got the 1st. And he's out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Well, Navy did it earlier. Maybe it sprinkled the idea in the mind of Bobby Wallace.
I don't think that was a fake. It was a bad snap. It was bounced back. Plus, you had the 2 gunners going downfield. If they intended to fake this, they would have tried to block at the line of scrimmage, but I think that's Owen Lux right there.
See, I thought his eye contact.
See the bounce right there?
You're right. You're right.
He looks all of a sudden. He could have kicked it because they actually did get the block of the. They had 2 people coming off the edge, but he had the wheels to get it outside and pick up the first.
So first down for the Owls from the 42-yard line. Ferguson on the run. And he also moves the pile close to the 49-yard line, a gain of 7. Ferguson now with over 100 yards on the afternoon. And for Temple this season, they've had a tough time picking up yards on the ground. I mean, against Miami of Ohio, they had 75 yards a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he's over 100.
Yep.
Gans rushed for over 30.
2 weeks ago against Virginia, they had 10 yards on the ground. 5.3 yards per carry for Umar Ferguson. Flags come flying. We had movement on the Temple offensive line.
Prior to snap, false start, number 84 on the offense, 5 yards, remains second down.
Ben Hendy, the freshman tight end, is called for the penalty, so they'll repeat the second down, moving the ball back to the 43-yard line of Temple. Clock winds under 13 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. They didn't have a whole lot of penalties, Scott, before the second half, but now they've mounted a little bit here in the 4th quarter.
Well, bad teams try to find a way to shoot themselves in the foot, but that's only 3 penalties on the day for them. They've kept it pretty clean.
On second down, McCann will run the football after a pump, heads toward midfield, and he's down at the 49 of the midshipmen. Greg Thrasher makes the tackle. Hey, fans, catch live action from around the country with CSTV Video All Access. Watch more than 50 games streamed right to your computer. Plus, watch streaming press conferences, see exclusive athlete features, coaches shows, and more, both live and archived. It's the best way to follow your team all season. Log on to CSTV.com to subscribe. And with college basketball entering full swing now at the start of the seasons. Temple 2 nights ago lost to UCLA in a good ball game. Navy lost last night to a very good Georgetown team. Umar Ferguson on third down gets a first down. And he's taken down at the 43-yard line. Jeremy McGowan in on the tackle.
Yeah, Jeremy Chase had that thing read nicely. He was a little too far upfield, and they ran the draw right underneath him.
I've been impressed with Ferguson. You're always impressed with Chase, a senior from Norfolk, Virginia. See the total yardage now for Temple of 372 on first down. McGann looking to throw, and the pocket collapses. He's taken down. 25 sacks given up this season by the Temple offensive line. And they give one up there to John Chen, his 5th sack of the year. And that one is for big-time negative yardage.
Yeah, that was. And Chan's not a guy that has huge numbers as far as tackles, but he's always around the play. Sometimes he swallows up 2 blockers at once. 43 tackles, 3 tackles for losses. Like you said, Tom, that's his 5th sack on the year, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Chan, the junior from Pleasant Hill, California, and the storied high school, De La Salle High School. Second down and long. McGann out of the shotgun to the middle. It's incomplete. Good coverage by Biles, 52 on Bruce Francis. Biles, such a good athlete in high school, not only playing football, but also an all-state baseball selection. And as this year's gone on, he has really turned it up. All the linebackers have.
He has. And the big thing is, Tom, they've had health. And they've been able to play together as a unit, not only with the backers, but with the front down 3 guys. They like to run that 3-4. They're very active.
Take that American politics degree into the Marine Corps. He'll be a Marine Corps officer. That was his assignment. On third down, McGann again to throw. Dumps it off. He has Ferguson. Ooh, Ferguson helped himself stay up by putting the football close to the ground. He balanced himself. And now Tattersall records the tackle to force a 4th down. And for Navy, it looks like they've held Temple once again, and Bobby Wallace has the one decision. It is the one decision on 4th and 11 is to bring Lux back on the field. And if you're Navy, when you get the ball back, I mean, you probably feel like, Scott, you got to score again.
Well, and it was a tie football game, and I think the play of the game so far was that blocked field goal. Because that right there, Temple gets the lead. All of a sudden, Navy takes it down. They score. They're up 24-17. Force a punt here. Now if they get points here, then you really get Temple thinking, and then it could be over.
Tomlinson thought about coming up and returning that on the run, but he calls the fair catch, and Navy will have it at its 19-yard line. On top by 7. Bowl ramifications for the midshipmen if they win.
Rated everyone 10 and up.
So where's everybody from?
I'm from Sydney, Atlanta, LA. I'm from a faraway place called First Place, actually. It's a shame you'll never see it, because it's lovely. Lots of open roads, just driving.
Keys. Señor, open the trunk, please. It's not real.
120 not-so-standard features. One all-new German-engineered Passat.
March begins today, and a long road lies ahead.
You ready? Let's go! 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 50% pain, 100% reason to remain.
Every Tuesday through Saturday, it's Coach to Coach, where CSTV brings you closer to the game than anyone else, with the biggest stories from the best coaches.
What really matters is winning the Big 12.
Coach to Coach, every Tuesday through Saturday. Log on to CSTV.com for a complete schedule.
Bill the 31st and Bill the 32nd. They probably enjoyed this afternoon's ball game. The Navy mascots here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Navy with the football. It's 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line of the midshipmen. 9:57 to play in the 4th quarter. Owens with a long count. Nelson in motion. Owens fakes the handoff, takes it for a couple of yards up to the 21. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Owens now with 75 yards running the football and 120 yards in the air on 4 of 10 passing today. He's had a pretty good day, particularly on the ground.
Talk about contrasting styles of the offense and how important those 80 yards rushing that St. Owens has compared to 300 yards passing from McGann. That's what you get out of the quarterback. And here's your average yards per game, 277. Maybe well over that today.
They're 3rd in the nation behind Minnesota and Texas. Eddie Martin on his first run of the day. In for the injured Carlos Whitaker. It's at about 2 yards shy of that 1st down, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 for Navy.
Yeah, it's critical for them here to get some first downs. Even if you don't get points, you consume time off that clock. You want Temple to get the ball back with maybe 4 or 3 minutes left, and they get the sense of urgency. You force them in an all-passing situation. Then you're able to lay your ears back and then come after them.
There are 5 different bowls, Scott, that have their eye on the Naval Academy. A win today assures them of a winning season going into the game against Army on December 3rd. And Lamar Owens assures himself of a 1st down after taking a nasty hit from Burton. And he's very slow to get up. Well, it's time now for our Xbox Big Play Live Replay. And again, the midshipmen have relied on Lamar Owens this afternoon. And Owens done a nice job with his feet. And he did a great job with the shoulder.
Oh, watch the shoulder. There's the boom right there on Schultz. They're going to get thrown into the end zone by Tomlinson. Great effort. That's
our Xbox Big Play Replay. One more look. 2nd touchdown of the day for Lamar Owens. On 1st down, Owens will hand it off to Ballard. Ballard not only running some clock, but he picks up a couple of yards to the 33-yard line. It's been easy for us today to spotlight Adam Ballard, and why not? 25 carries, over 150 yards on the afternoon. Subbing for the injured Matt Hall, who suffered a season-ending knee injury in the game against Notre Dame, and Ballard has really stepped up. I mean, we haven't seen Trey Hines. It's been Ballard as the fullback, and that's it.
All time, all day.
Glimpse of Matt Hall on the sidelines. Nelson's run well today. He continues to do so. Boy, he found a nice seam, just enough room to get out to the 40-yard line for a first down.
You can guarantee you're going to see that pitch every time Navy puts that backside wing guy in motion. Here comes the student body. He'll throw the kitchen sink at you, the pull of guard, leads you with the fullback. That's just tough to stop. I mean, this Nelson's so fast. Once he catches that pitch behind that right tackle, he's already got a full head of steam on him.
That first down, Scott, for the midshipmen now 23 first downs in the afternoon. Temple has 25 first downs today. Clock is right now on the side of the midshipmen. The fact that they have the football, they'd love to continue to run some clock. And they run it to Eddie Martin on the pitch to the left of Lamar Owens, and Martin gets up to the 45.
You know, something to be said for Lamar Owens here, and he continues to get pushed back a little bit. This is something they may fix throughout the course of the week here before the Army game. You know, he's getting a little too deep. You got to stay down that line of scrimmage.
Lamar Owens and the midshipmen, they have some time before that Army matchup in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. Paul Johnson knows that stadium fairly well. Bobby Wallace knows that stadium because that's where Temple plays its home games. Owens trying to make something out of nothing, and Knighton stayed with him and slowed him down enough for his teammates to come in and finish him off after a gain of about a half a yard. It'll be 3rd and long for the midshipmen.
Here he is again. You can see how deep he is here in the backfield. He should be more right here down the line of scrimmage. There was no reason for him to be 3 yards deep there, Tom. You got to attack that defensive end, make him commit whether he's going to take the quarterback or the pitch.
And Mendenhall actually did a nice job covering the pitch man, and he's done a nice job all day. Schultz has done a pretty good job as well, and Owens has taken a lot of hits today.
Oh, he's taking a ton of hits.
There's Mendenhall, the all-state wrestler at Paulsboro High School. Had a scholarship offer to North Carolina State to wrestle. Lamar Owens comes over to the sidelines. Timeout on the field. 3rd down and 5. It's 24-17. Navy on top.
Why is Sirius the choice in satellite radio?
It feels like you got every song ever made. Rock, pop, hip-hop, no commercials.
We get a ton of music, no commercials. It's comedy, no bleeps. You know what I'm saying?
If it involves a uniform, a stick, a ball, bang, it's right in there.
Bang, NFL is in there.
It's the best thing I ever put in my car. Next to him.
It's flat out better than regular radio.
It's more than just radio. It's Sirius satellite radio. Right now, get a Sirius satellite radio for under $50.
The tourist cabin is designed to wrap around you. This is walnut inlay. The trim is chrome. It's great. It's got 12-way adjustable seats.
Get down. Can you just get down in your seat? Yeah, what? Just a little lower.
Diane, how are you?
Dave, looks like you're doing well.
Yeah. See you around.
Okay.
The elegant, capable Touareg.
Ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Come drive it. You'll get it. Right now, get a great deal on a Volkswagen Touareg.
Hey, college football fans, the best seat in the house is now in front of your computer.
He makes a diving one-handed grab.
Sign up for CSTV's College Football All Access. Get online for the most up-to-date news, scores, highlights, and best of all, over 800 live games. Now, access to your favorite team is only a click away. CSTV All Access, over 100 schools. Find your favorite team on CSTV.com and order today.
CSTV Football Nation has been brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by Sirius Satellite Radio. Want more than just radio? Get Sirius Satellite Radio. You walk the campus of the Naval Academy, you not only see the brigade walking from classroom to classroom, but you also see those folks jogging. I mean, the physical fitness that these guys and gals go through, I mean, it's immense all year long, keeping themselves in pretty good shape. Navy in pretty good shape on 3rd down. Owens to throw, and he overthrows Tomlinson. And it now forces a 4th down and 5, and that turns out to be a pretty big play with 5:52 left to play in the 4th quarter, and Navy only on top by 7.
Not only do you have to punt, but that stops the clock. You know, you're frozen right there now. We're still under 6 minutes to play. Tons of time left for Temple.
Eric Shuey, the senior, Will become a surface warfare officer as well upon graduation.
Seems like everybody's becoming that.
I guess you put in for your first and second choice. Oh boy, that puck was nearly blocked, but it turns out to be a dandy. And Santa Cruz calls a fair catch to the 6. There's a flag down. And Shuey got knocked down after that ball was nearly blocked. I think it was Schultz, number 9.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul too. So that's 15 yards, first down. Coming right up the middle.
Tell you what, that turned out to be a heck of a
foul.
punt.
And the kicker, number 9 on the defense, 15 yards, previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, that's turned out to be a gigantic penalty against the Temple Owls. We said they have not been penalized that often today. That's now their 4th penalty of the day, and all 4 have come in the second half. I didn't think Shuey would get it off. You see the numbers. Temple is penalized per game 41.3 yards. They're at 45 today, but again, all that's in the second half. And Owens will keep it himself, and he'll be able to get his body out toward the 35-yard line. 15-yard penalty gives Navy such good field position.
Almost puts them in field goal range.
Bobby Wallace has seen this during the course of the 2005 season. As we said, this is his 8th and final year with the Temple Owls. A guy that had an awful lot of success at Northern Alabama. He was 82, 36 and 1 with 3 national titles. And I've dealt with him for a number of years, Scott, and he's always been a very classy guy.
And that's the things you hear is what the kids are going to take with them once they leave the program. The 28 seniors, you know, may not show in the record books as far as wins and losses. What type of people that this guy, what type is he raised? You know, in essence, sometimes he becomes a father figure for kids that commit to go to a certain school for 4 years, and it's tough for kids to get home. What kind of people?
Well, they've gone through so much too, Scott, while he's been the head coach. I mean, they were voted out of the Big East in 2001.
Yeah, you lose conference affiliation, and all of a sudden, back now you're going to be in the MAC. It's tough to practice. There's construction going on. And you know the Temple situation as far as the practice.
Oh, they have great practice facilities now. I mean, it's unbelievable, the practice facilities.
You got to sign a contract, and your home stadium's the same stadium the Philadelphia Eagles play in, Lincoln Financial Field, and that's difficult. I know the University of Pittsburgh does the same with the Steelers. If you're playing at this level, I mean, I think you should have your own stadium. And you know, in a collegiate atmosphere, some of those venues are, you know, it's too big and it takes the teams out of it.
We head toward the 4-minute mark, a first down for the midshipmen. From the 27-yard line, Owens will keep it himself. Now pitches it to Campbell. Campbell sidesteps the sideline and gets inside the 15. Well, you said it would be a big pass play to Campbell. That's a pretty big run.
Yeah, well, they tried to hit him. The one where Owens got, they called the late hit on Owens, the helmet to helmet. He had him. He just laid that sucker out. Here you go again. Come on down this way, right here. Look how far in the backfield Owens is. That's the first, and you know, I've seen him run this option a ton of games this year. And I can't remember him being that deep in the backfield. Maybe it's because of the presence of the Temple defensive line. They're that big.
8 different guys have run the football for the midshipmen, including Marco Nelson, who runs this time to the 6-yard line before he is taken down. Nelson now with 6 carries and more than 70 yards for the midshipmen. Mendenhall with the tackle. Mendenhall's high school team, Paulsboro High School, 23-0 his last couple of seasons in South Jersey. He finished 3rd in the state at 215 pounds as a wrestler. It's 2nd down and 3. Navy needs to get across the 3-yard line for a first down. And they'll hand it off to Bauer to try to do that. He got across the 5, but that's where he met the defense of the Temple Owls.
Yeah, 3rd and short. You know, this may actually help Navy because you don't get the first down here. You reset. Now you got to try and get it, and just keeps the clock moving, keeps the sticks moving.
I don't think Ballard has taken one play off this entire game. I don't think Hines has been in there at all.
No, I haven't seen him.
Third down and a little more than one.
We know the damage Ballard has done on the ground, but could you imagine if he caught the one little short pass for the touchdown there? He had the bigger one later in the game.
And now Navy's going to burn its final timeout. 3:10 left to play in this fourth quarter. 24-17. The midshipman on top. Ballard has been the workhorse out of the backfield with over 150 yards on the ground. Lamar Owens has been there as well. Hey, don't forget, coming up later on CSTV, Lafayette and Lehigh. Then at 8:30, Memphis looks to rebound from its tough loss to Tennessee as it takes on fellow Conference USA foe Southern Miss. We wrap up the day at 12:30 a.m. when Montana takes on Montana State. CSTV Football Nation all day long on CSTV. Don't forget, Game Tracker Live throughout the day as well on CSTV. A busy weekend in college sports. You know, we turn the page from football, you go to college basketball, but on CSTV there's field hockey, there's volleyball, there's an awful lot going on. And for these fans, it's their final time to see the midshipmen here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, but most will venture north to Philadelphia on December 3rd when Navy travels to Temple's home stadium, Lincoln Financial Field, to play Army.
That was Navy's third timeout.
It's third down and one off of the final timeout for the midshipmen. They are in Joey Bullen's field goal range.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, but
after that Air Force kick.
Yeah, but they'd love to get a first down and just bring Joey Bullen on to maybe attempt a point after at some point. Owens under center. The handoff goes to Ballard. He was hit, and now he goes into the end zone. Well, why not? He has over 150 yards in the ground, and he's able to get into the end zone to give Navy a 30-17 lead. With Matt Hall going down, Ballard was asked to carry the load as the fullback in this option offense. And he is carrying it with authority today against Temple. Bullen's point after is good. He remains perfect on the year. And Navy now on top by 2 touchdowns with 3:05 left to play. Great second effort, Scott.
It's just a little belly right up the gut. You watch the second effort. He's stuffed there, and good spin, gets it in the end zone.
And Adam Ballard with that touchdown run. He is our Sirius Satellite Radio player of the game. And why not? Over 150 yards of offense on the ground. 167 all told, and 33 in the air.
Yeah, and he could have caught another touchdown, too. So the workhorse today, he's the player of the game. So why not? Let's let him cross the T's and dot the I's.
He's at 200 total yards thanks to that reception and run. And he has been able to get into the end zone for the midshipmen with 3:05 left to play in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. Matt Hall has done an outstanding job for this offense over the course of the year. And I don't think anybody's shocked on the Navy side of the ball as far as the coaching staff of what this kid could do today. But he stepped up huge.
Matt Hall with 493 yards on the ground this season before the injury at Notre Dame. And the brigade is going to send Navy off to not only the game against Army on December 3rd, but also a bowl game. We don't know where that bowl game will be. The Liberty Bowl, the Poinsettia Bowl. I mean,
Houston Bowl.
Yep, the Houston Bowl. I mean, there's a number of them that have their eye on the midshipmen. It's a short kick by Matt Harmon. And it's taken by Bundy to the 29-yard line. Time now for the Volkswagen drive of the game. And it's the block kick from Andrew Tattersall that started this drive for the midshipmen. The power runs by Ballard. A nice pass play from Owens to Ballard. That's for 33 yards. And then Owens with his quick feet and his big shoulder into the end zone.
Well, that's the thing. I think that could be the play of the game. Not the run right there, but the blocked field goal.
McGann with 3 minutes left trying to make something happen. His first pass on this drive is incomplete. So it'll be second down. I don't know if you can underscore, though, the day that McGann's had. I mean, he's 23 of 36, now 37, 227 yards.
This many interceptions, 0. And that's the key for him today.
Came into this ball game with only 2 touchdowns and 13 INTs. On second down, he'll throw again. And he's got a completion to his favorite receiver of the afternoon, Gordon. And Gordon still on his feet.
That ball.
Trying to get to the sidelines, and he does. Took him a long time to get there. And he's out at the 47-yard line.
Ball security. You got to protect that football.
Well, he ran a long way to try to stop the clock at 2:45.
Long way to stop it, yeah. Could have went down. First down still stops it.
Ball spotted on the 47-yard line.
Well, Navy has its sights set on a possible bowl, 3rd straight bowl for the midshipmen. Temple will now get themselves set to choose a new coach.
Yeah, what a job this naval class has done, though. It's first winning class since 1999.
Yep.
So it's been a while, but 3 years in a row.
And why not Jeremy Chase, the senior in the defensive line, with the sack? The ball is loose.
Oh, they called that a fumble.
John Chan dives into the end zone. Flags come flying after the dive. Jeremy Chase applied the hit. The ball came loose, and Chan was in the right place at the right time.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Touchdown's good.
Well, he is the one charged with the penalty.
Supposed to have a little fun, right?
Well,
what's a lineman score? Really,
the excessive celebration penalty is so tough
Maybe
to
if
judge
it's
in
a
college
flashy
sports.
DB or flashy linebacker, it's leading the team in tackles. But this is one of your hardest working guys on the defensive line. I think he's pretty athletic when he shows this dive right here. But he did get an earful from Paul Johnson.
Yeah,
And that's what they preach here, discipline.
You know, he was already in the end zone when he actually left his feet.
Well, it's not like he's experienced enough doing that.
37-17 is the score, thanks to the touchdown by Chan.
His buddies are telling him it's all right.
I really thought McGann was down, but the ball, after looking at the replay, was loose as he was going to the ground. Chase was number 49, sitting next to him on the sidelines. Bullen's point after is good. It's a lot of push-ups in a short period of time for the brigade. It's 38-17. Navy is on top. The 18 seniors on this football team. I mean, not only the 18 seniors on the football team, but the seniors that are along the brigade. These are the numbers, Scott. And I think the biggest one, 2 straight bowl appearances and 2 consecutive Commander-in-Chief trophies.
Probably more importantly, the bottom one. You look at that bottom one right there. This is what these guys play for each and every year. And if they beat Army, they get their 3rd.
Right, Army has already defeated Air Force, so that's why it's up for grabs on December 3rd when these 2 teams face each other at Lincoln Financial Field. Jeremy Chase, the senior.
A ton of guys continue to go over to John Chan, who's sitting at the end of the bench, and give them their condolences.
Still has his helmet on, too.
Yeah.
Marco Nelson's had a good day. His final game here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. He's had 2 very good years, getting a chance to play a lot, particularly this season with good speed out of the backfield. Those seniors, like all the seniors on the yard, received their orders for what they will do after graduation. Jason Montz, one of the linebackers, the distinction of becoming a Navy pilot. So 38-17 the score. 2 minutes 33 seconds left on the clock. The final home game of 2005 for the midshipmen. The penalty moves the kickoff back to the 20-yard line. So Temple should get pretty good field position. Schultz will pick it up at the 13. That's where he begins. Has some blockers to the outside. And is taken down at the 37-yard line. Clay Carter, number 15, was in on the tackle for the midshipmen.
And you come out here, you continue to throw the football or run it.
I don't know if you're Mike McGann. I mean, you've had such a good day, and for Temple, you're trying to finish up on as good a note as possible. I think you just try to run your stuff, and you try to do what you can in these 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
Screen them a little bit, maybe not try and force the deep ball.
Well, before any of that happens, Bobby Wallace is going to use a timeout. The first of 3 that Temple has here in this fourth quarter. Hey, don't forget, it's a full slate of college football, not only here, but also coming up, Lafayette against Lehigh. This is always a huge matchup in the Patriot League. That's at 5 Eastern time, or right after the conclusion of this ball game. Then at 8:30, Memphis trying to rebound from the loss last week to Tennessee. They'll take on Southern Miss. And at 12:30 a.m., the Grizzlies of Montana take on the Bobcats of Montana State. That's another huge rivalry. And in between, Game Tracker Live. You're going to try to make it back to New York for an additional Game Tracker Live throughout the day?
If they could have it their way, sure, they'd probably have me in. Yeah. There's a shuttle service.
Paul Johnson, the head coach. His team on top, 38-17.
A lot of people work hard on that Game Tracker show.
Yeah, you guys do a very good job moving around. A lot of scores, a lot of highlights.
Doc, the head stat man.
New quarterback Colin Clancy, the freshman, the lefty, is in, and he is taken down immediately by Jeremy Chase. And that'll wind the clock toward the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter, with Navy leading at 38-17. Chase trying to finish things up strong. We said before that Joe DeSanzo, the freshman, has been banged up with some ribs, and that's why Clancy comes in. As we just mentioned, he's a lefty compared to McGann, who's a right-handed quarterback, but he can hand off easily to Umar Ferguson. Let's earn a couple of yards. Umar Ferguson over 100 yards running the football today for Temple, and head coach Bobby Wallace, one of the bright spots for the Owls in this ball game.
The numbers are there. I mean, they had plenty of chances throughout this game. Opening drive, second half drive, came up empty. Blocked field goal. I still think that blocked field goal was a play of the game. That turned the tide.
What was immediate points that Temple was able to put up if they converted that field goal. On third down, whistle blows, flags come flying. The play clock was winding down.
Full start on the offense. 5 yards previous spot, remains third down.
I was about to say the play clock was winding down, but I thought he still had time before the snap, but it is a false start on Bobby Wallace's squad. Lamar Owens, the brigade in the backdrop. Lamar has put together another very good day as the quarterback for the midshipmen. And what a year. I mean, this will be the 6th victory for Navy, and they're hoping there's 2 more in their future. And he really has, has played pretty well for the midshipmen this year.
He's done a nice job leading this offense.
Ferguson on third down runs to his right, gains a couple of yards to the 26-yard line. And the clock will wind down toward 30 seconds left to play, and that should be the final play of this ball game. There's Adam Ballard, he with Rob Caldwell. Offensive star with a defensive star, and he's been the offensive star today. I mean, really has...
Looks bigger than a linebacker.
Oh, I mean, his size, where it was noticeable more than anything else, Scott? Early in the ball game, he had a big run in the open field. That's where his size was noticeable.
Sure.
When they were trying to wrap him up and take him down. And we said before, he is our player of the game for Paul Johnson's squad. They become bowl eligible with this victory today. For Bobby Wallace, well, he'll walk off into the sunset, at least for now, as the head coach of the Temple Owls. He's going to go home to Alabama. He's going to get his insurance license. His wife is going to get her real estate license, and then he's going to take a step back and decide whether he wants to coach again. But he has done an awful lot of things that are good for college football as the head coach of the Temple Owls. And you would assume that he will be back on the sidelines in some capacity in the near future in college football.
And you can see the mutual respect he gets from the Navy staff. And, a lot of these guys go way back to the days of Pat Dye at Auburn back in the early 80s. And the guy has won, and he's done it at a very high level. It's just the deck has been stacked so much against him here at Temple. but it's time to get on.
Game number 375 in the career of Bobby Wallace. It's included 82 wins at Northern Alabama, 19 wins with these Temple Owls. And for the seniors, for the midshipmen, the result today, a 38-17 victory and their 26th win in 4 seasons with Paul Johnson. And they will be saluted by the brigade and also the fans of more than 30,000 that settled in today for this ball game. It's been a heck of a run here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for these seniors. It's now time to take a listen in to the Navy alma mater. There's an awful lot of good that took place today here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. 38-17 is the ultimate highlight as the midshipmen pick up their 6th win of the season. And now they'll have a couple weeks before they prepare for their matchup against Army with the Commander-in-Chief trophy on the line. They got production offensively today from Lamar Owens and Adam Ballard. You see Ballard there running off the field. And they also got production from their defense, in particular, Scott, in the 4th quarter. While the offense was scoring, the defense was slowing down the Temple offense.
Yeah, they did. They stiffed the tide right there, and you wondered what point would it turn for Temple. And that was it, Tom. It was that 4th quarter. It was a bend but don't break thing. They gave up a ton of yards today. You know, Mike McGann came into this game. He was efficient. He was effective. They created a turnover. They scored off a turnover. That's the one that iced the game. But as you know, I mean, they've had a heck of a year. They're now bowl eligible. Still have that one big game left. I think we all know what that one is.
Well, as Paul Johnson puts the headsets on and gets ready to head into the locker room, he joins us now down on the field. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Adam Ballard ran his heart out this afternoon.
He sure did. He played really hard, and I'm awfully proud of him. He took advantage of his opportunity.
We talked earlier this week, Paul, about the opportunity to get to a bowl for a 3rd straight year. Talk about what that means to this program.
Well, hopefully it's never been done before, so that tells you right there in its own right that it's pretty tough. But I'm happy for our seniors that they got to finish up with a win, and happy for our football team.
Well, you talked about the seniors, 18 in all, and I know this is a young crew, but they've done a nice job this year adjusting to that young crew.
Well, they really have, and we've had a lot of young players contribute, but those guys are still the leaders, and that's kind of the way this place is set up, and I'm happy for them. Hopefully now we've got biggest game of the year, and we're certainly going to have to play better if we're going to have a chance in it.
All right, couple weeks to prepare for the Army matchup. Paul, thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you.
All right, congratulations, Paul Johnson, the head coach of the Naval Academy. They win it 38-17. That is the final score. The midshipmen and the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium run with a victory, their 6th of the year.
Vittorious Cap.
Hey, let's go to New York. Game Tracker Live with Adam Zucker.
All right, thanks, Tom. Of course, all these Navy and Air Force fans want to know how Army's doing. Right now, tied at 7 against Central Michigan in the middle of a 9-game losing streak. And number 2, Texas, trying to break its 5-game losing